Fashion Wednesday in Toronto. Mirko Freecher of the Leafs scored 4 goals, including 3 in the third period, as Toronto defeated the Oilers 11-9. And then last night in Quebec City, the Edmonton Oilers had a 3-2 lead with less than 5 minutes to play. But in less than 2 minutes, the Nordiques wiped out the advantage and took the lead themselves. Robert Picard tied the game. Paul Gillis scored a disputed game winner. And then to make things more comfortable for themselves, the Nordiques added a goal by Peter Stastny, his second of the night, and 24th of the season. Quebec 5, Edmonton 3. Tonight, the Oilers continue on the road, trying to break a 2-game losing streak. They're at the Forum to meet the Montreal Canadiens. Problems the Oilers have had on this road trip, they're far from reaching for the panic button. They are tied for the overall NHL lead and could set a club record for points in one season. As for Wayne Gretzky, he's almost certain to break his own league mark for assists in 1 year. And if Gretzky hadn't scored a goal all season long, he would still be the NHL scoring leader on assists alone by 10 points over Montreal's Mats Naslund. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Forum. I'm Dave Hodge. This, of course, the classic matchup, the Oilers and the Canadiens. About an hour ago, a Forum attendant approached Wayne Gretzky and bemoaned the fact that he had left his autograph book at home and said, "I'll get you next time." When's that? And Wayne said, "In the Stanley Cup final." Well, that's far from a certainty, but you can't watch these two teams and not consider that it is a distinct possibility. For more on the Oilers versus the Canadiens, let's go to the broadcast booth and join Dick Irvin and John Davidson.
There's been a lot of talk this season about the Montreal power play, number 1 in the league percentage-wise. And, John, they tell me the Edmonton Oilers have heard about it.
Well, they certainly have. Right here in Montreal, their home power play is about 38%, Dick, and that's astounding. What they're going to try to do is most teams, when they defend the power play, they play that typical 4-man box. Edmonton's going to be a little different tonight. They're going to try something called an I formation. John Muckler's idea. They're going to try and take away the shot from Larry Robinson and try to stop that pass from going across the ice. The only power play I've ever seen that moves the puck around like Montreal's right now is maybe the Soviets. It's unbelievable.
We've got a perfect example of what John is talking about. In a game played here last Wednesday night, Montreal and Boston. And you're going to see exactly, John, what the Canadiens were doing, just what Edmonton is wondering about. Robinson had the puck to Naslund across the curvers, back to Naslund, 2-3 passes cross ice.
And the idea there on that power play, what makes it so good, Dick, is they move it quickly. It's just on the blade of the stick and it's moved. Now, if they can't get that good puck movement, they like to put it back to Robinson. He's got the big shot from the middle of the ice. He'll move right into the middle. Edmonton are going to try and put a forward high on Robinson, take that away, and try and put people right down the middle to stop that cross-ice passing. It's going to be interesting.
And Edmonton, one of the best penalty-killing teams, of course, in the NHL. For more, here now again, Dave Hodge.
While the Oilers are tied for the league lead, the Canadiens are tied for the lead in the Adams division with the Quebec Nordiques, a tie which was created last night when Quebec beat Edmonton and the Canadiens lost to the Rangers. The tie could be broken tonight. The Canadiens at home to Edmonton and the Nordiques on the road in Toronto. And our update game is the Nordiques versus the Maple Leafs. We'll be showing you goals from that game, the way the Leafs have been scoring them and allowing them. It might be a lot of goals that we'll be showing you. In the first intermission, Inside Hockey will look at the rash of high-sticking and facial injuries that have occurred in the NHL. Don Cherry comes along with Coach's Corner and his view of this particular problem. Hockey Night in Canada on CBC will return in just a moment. And both of these teams were interested in hearing the results when they entered the rink tonight at the Boston Garden. The Bruins defeated the Winnipeg Jets by a score of 8-4. Every game in the Adams division is important. The Bruins now have 45 points, as our Adams division standing showed just a moment ago. And Philadelphia created the overall league lead tie with Edmonton by beating New Jersey 8-4. The best scoring combination in the league is not Gretzky and Curry. It's Brian Propp and Tim Kerr. Propp had 2 tonight, and Kerr, the league leader, had number 36 for the Philadelphia Flyers this afternoon. So that is what has happened in the NHL, and tonight we really do look forward to this game. The Oilers were in here earlier this season, and Mark Messier scored an overtime goal to win it for the Oilers. That was a road trip that didn't look too good at the beginning, and the Oilers made it okay at the end. The win in Montreal was instrumental in turning it around. The Oilers will try to do exactly the same thing here tonight. They're not used to losing 2 in a row under any circumstances, but when they give up 11 goals at Maple Leaf Gardens and then lose a lead in Quebec last night in the last 5 minutes of the third period, the Oilers are shaking their heads somewhat. And the Canadiens didn't like losing to the Rangers last night. But you have to know that the winner of this game will leave this rink in a happy fashion. Beating each other can do that. Now let's join our national anthem at center ice.
Pratt, accompanied at the organ by Mr.
and the Montreal Canadiens here at the Montreal Forum. Could be a wide-open hockey game, which means the play-by-play man had better be at the ready. I can assure you he is. Bob Cole, come in.
Thank you, Dick, and good evening, everybody. The referee you saw a moment ago, Andy Van Hellemond, it said around the league that the Oilers have the best tandem in the league in Fjord and Moog. Fjord last night in a 5-3 loss to Quebec. Andy Moog tonight. Patrick Waugh will start in goal tonight for the Canadiens. You're looking at Moog, of course, and there's young Patrick. He's 19 years old. Benched, by the way, for 2 games for turning up late for a practice. How are you? So Jean Perron is running a tight ship. Waugh tonight against Moog. Van Hellemond drops the puck in. Skrudland. One after it over there. Carbonneau with Nyland. They couldn't find it. Gretzky fades back. Curry is with Hunter for Edmonton, and this is Hunter coming in. Curry's shot is right on the net. Gregg takes his shot, and the Canadiens back covering up, clear it out. Gainey, Carbonneau, and Nyland, the Canadian line out there, and they shoot it in. Moog in back of the net to stop it. Carbonneau intercepted along the board, centered it, and the Edmonton Oilers will bring it out. Curry comes to center. Curry in with Hunter. He dropped it back to him. He centered it. Gretzky was in there, and he's back of the net centering it. And it's grabbed right away. Svoboda got it ahead. A pass to Nyland up the line, dropping it. Here's a shot by Carbonneau. And a big save by Andy Moog. Another save by Moog. But the first one was a dandy. That shot right on.
Bob, it looks like Carbonneau's going to get a lot of ice time tonight playing against Wayne Gretzky. I hope he had lots of rest.
Robinson took a shot, and Moog just did get a piece of it. Coming out is Messier. He's missed 5 weeks, mind you. Had a cast removed yesterday. Skated today. Messier is on the ice for Edmonton. Number 11, there he is, fighting against Bobby Smith. Anderson grabs the puck and comes up to the line. Anderson got some room, and then they caught him in time. Naslund was back. In back of the net. Napier trying to dig it out. Left it in the corner. Oilers are in after it. Anderson. Messier! And a big save by Waugh. Here's another shot, and Patrick Waugh hangs on. It goes back to the net. Puck coming loose quickly. Canadians trying to get it out of the zone, and they do. Coming up to the 2-minute mark of the first period. No score.
Patrick Waugh with lots of action. Now, remember, he had to sit out, so there's a little pressure on him right now. He's not exactly holding on to those pucks like he would want to, but even though he is making the big saves.
Skrudland dumped it in for the Canadians. Coming back, Svoboda. 2 teams changing. As Svoboda goes back to the net, McClelland is in there, forechecking for Edmonton. Canadians, Larry Robinson. Started out with it to Rooney. Then he got it up to Rooney a second time. Tremblay fed it ahead to Strudlin. One man back. Strudlin trying to go in. Centered it right through the crease, and the net goes flying off the moorings, and the play is called. This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Forum in Montreal. Stopped it. Moe quite busy in the first 3.5 minutes of this opening period. Lumley back in for Edmonton now. Lumley waits in on a sharp angle. He can't get a shot from that angle. Still after the puck goal. Lumley along the board, still holds it, but it rolled to the line. It's just out, and the Canadiens get it up to center. Richer. Here's the pass to Benoit. He was set up by Ryan Walter and got a good shot on the net. Still no score. Well, they're both going after the first goal in this game. Lumley threw it in front of the net. And the Canadiens get a three-man break coming down the center. This is Naslund playing it into Dahlin. Dropped to Naslund. Oh, and that's stick save by Andy Moog. And it goes high into the crowd. What great action. And the fans, the sellout, appreciate it with their applause.
Until this time, until this tape, you've never seen color this bold. A breakthrough in videotape technology. Color, as if you were seeing it for the first time, time after time.
Ball in the first 4 minutes and 5 seconds.
10 shots on goal, 7 by the Canadiens. I tell you, fellas, if this isn't the biggest crowd of the year, it'll have to do. They are standing in every inch of the standing room space that's available.
Bobby Smith failed to get the draw for the Canadiens, and the Edmonton Oilers start up. Coffey's pass didn't work. Now Huddy shoots one in off the leg of Ludwig. It bounces near the boards. Gretzky nearly got in. Comes out over the line. The Canadiens hop on it. Naslund coming to the line. Naslund going in. Took a shot. That was blocked in front of the net by Huddy. There's Gretzky. That pass coming from behind. He couldn't get a stick on it. Lawler fed it to the far side. Flipped ahead by Hunter. Working it through center is Curry. In off the boards. Waugh out of the net. Hunter on the puck. Threw it to the other corner. Hunter was dumped over there by Ludwig of Montreal. Lawler now coming back. Fed it off the boards into the corner again. Here comes Ludwig. Second shot. As Dave Hunter and the two players go to the ice, and there's a penalty coming up on this play. It's the first penalty of this game to Edmonton. The next game coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Right here, you had the two high-scoring lines against one another. The Canadiens didn't put the Carbonneau line out against Gretzky.
Naslund's line against Gretzky's line, and neither team got much of an opportunity. Here's going to be the penalty. Hunter's going to come back. As Bob mentioned, that was the second time Ludwig had run into Hunter, and there you see him going at him while Ludwig's on the ice, and that's why Andy Van Hellemond made the call. So Montreal with that big power play, sensational average at home around 38%. Naslund has 17 of those goals. Dahlin has 10. Larry Robinson has 8. Incredible.
And an important man on this power play, number 11 there, Ryan Walter. Watch him in front of the net. Here the Canadiens can move the puck in, which they do. It's into the corner. Richer left it. Tremblay got it back. Naslund from the point now, working it around. There's a shot. Walter in front of the net, tried to tip it, and couldn't quite find it. Curry skates to center and just slides it down the ice.
Now, when Edmonton was killing penalties in Quebec last night, all kinds of scoring chances, all kinds of 2-on-1s, even though they didn't score, they are a threat with 13 shorthanded goals this season. Leads the league.
Curry and Gretzky are on there for Edmonton with Lowe and Fogelin. Canadiens power play. A minute 15 left on it. Richer comes in. He's a smoothie, trying to stick handle around Lowe, nearly did. Lowe got a piece of him. Walter from the side. Naslund up the point. Back to Walter. And he miscues. Now he gets rid of it. And Kevin Lowe was there to send the Canadiens back again. Now 55 seconds left in the Edmonton penalty. There's no score in this first period. Canadiens power play moving out. Naslund to center. Gretzky took a swing at it, missed it. Naslund in front of the net. He just got his toe on it. Back out for Anderson. He gets a little room and skates back in his own zone. Gregg now tossed it on the boards. Up the center was Anderson, and he shoots it into the Canadian zone. 30 seconds left in the penalty. Canadiens try it again. Sliding it back to Robinson was Naslund. He nearly lost it to Anderson in front of the net. Robinson covering up now, going back of the goal. 20 seconds left in the Edmonton penalty. No score in this first period. Out to center ice, Naslund finds Deblois. He is offside, but the Oilers clear it, so the play continues. Now it's called for a face-off with only 9 seconds left in the Edmonton penalty.
Looking at Lucien Deblois, he's had 4 shots already here in the first period. When he's a winger, he likes to stay wide, much like Lafleur used to, Dick. Stay real wide and wait to get the puck and then make the big play once he had it. Deblois has always been a pretty good leader. He's captain in Winnipeg. You still think they should get 30 goals from him this year, Dick?
That was the thought. I tell you, he was the best right winger in training camp. The injury right off the bat hurt him. Another look at that good stop by Andy Moog, and he has made some dandies. With Messier back in action tonight, still injured for Edmonton, Jeff Brubaker and Mike Krushelnyski, Mike Rogers and Gord Shervin not in uniform. Montreal playing tonight with Rick Green, Chris Chilios, and Mike McPhee, who suffered an ankle injury last night in New York. That's a tough one. He's been playing very well.
Ludwig at the blue line with Carbonneau. Ludwig might get a shot. He rolled it right into the side of the net. Gainey tried to go after it. The penalty is over. There's Hunter playing it off the boards to the line and not out. Canadiens keep it in there. Coming over to this side is Gainey. Takes his shot. It's tipped near the net by Gregg. And the Oilers clear it out. Jackson's long pass. Ludwig takes over it again. Canadiens lose it at their own line. It's flipped in by Jackson. A shot by Napier is deflected into the crowd. Live on CBC. Hockey Night in Canada. 7 minutes and 29 seconds of the opening period. Andy Moog so far holds a hot hand for Edmonton. And from this draw, the puck rolls to center. Grudlin skated up after it. Huddy feeds it back in his own zone. McSorley tipped it through the middle for the Oilers. And Svoboda will have to go back in a hurry because here comes McClelland. He bumped him in the corner. At the far side, Schumann turning around. Robinson blocks his pass. McSorley gets it back. Poppy shot. That missed the net. Oilers put a little pressure on now. There's McClelland behind the net, dumping it out front, but it's grabbed by the Canadiens, and Rooney comes to center. He's caught very quickly by McSorley, who got back in a hurry. Coming up to the 9-minute mark, first period, no score. Grudlin, number 39 for Montreal. Tremblay comes in with Rooney. Tremblay had to get rid of it. Huddy goes back there, gave it to McClelland. He got away from a check throw by Sprudland. And the Canadiens coming back is Svoboda. And icing is called against the Edmonton Oilers.
There's Dave Semenko. You notice he does not wear a helmet. And on the line with him, Dave Lumley and Craig McTavish, the three of them non-helmeted. And, John, that is something in today's hockey.
It certainly is. A lot of high sticking. In fact, we're going to have some discussion about it tonight. You know, the last 7 games that the Edmonton Oilers have played, they have given up at least 40 shots per game against. And that's a lot of work for their goaltenders, and that's an awful lot of pressure on the defense. Take a good look at Wayne Gretzky, who's got a 32-game point streak going now. He scored at least 1 point in every game but one this year, and that was the shutout to Darren Prupa of the Buffalo Sabres in Edmonton.
Vogelin again shooting it down the ice. Canadiens coming back. Lawler. And again, it's going to be icing. The shot, 7-3 for the Canadiens to this point, and we played just 8:37.
There's the coaching staff again, Jacques Leterrier and Jean Perron. You know, you think about the Montreal schedule, Dick. They've played 8 games in their last 12 nights, including the Soviet game. They have to finish that streak against the Edmonton Oilers. That first 5 minutes, they had pretty good pace.
Bobby Smith, 15. Naslund to the left. Darlene is on there with him. Oilers control on the draw. Lumley at the blue line. Fed it ahead. Darlene nearly picked it off. Gretzky has to try to get back, and he can't do it. Ludwig is given a bump over there. Cleared in by Naslund of Montreal. Moog out of the net. Bobby Smith in for checking. Moog roaming a little bit now. Threw it up along the boards. Bobby Smith again trying to get away from Vogelin. And it's still inside that line. Canadiens doing a pretty good job for checking the Edmonton Oilers. Trying to stop them in there. Now Gretzky. He's forced back a bit. Gretzky plays it to center. Lumley is turning from there. Going in on the line. It's dropped back. Lumley can't get a shot. Lumley in the corner. Got rid of it. Gretzky sees it first. Gretzky around the net. Centered it. Down goes Watt. He hangs on. Makes a big save, but Gretzky set it up perfectly. Still no score. Crowd applauding Patrick Roy on that effort, stopping the Oilers. Here's Bobby Smith now. He took a weak shot. That hit Gregg, and the play is called. Nearing the halfway mark of the opening period. Still scoreless.
Penalty has been called for the Oilers having too many men on the ice. Dave Lumley will sit it out. So when you draw penalties against Montreal, you live dangerously, of course, and when you draw them that way, it's even more so.
That now makes 18 bench minutes for the Oilers this year.
Canadiens again, a power play. Jackson, he stopped. Ryan Walter took the puck away from him, but now the Oilers get it out. Gretzky slides it ahead to Messier. Messier tried to get it back to Gretzky. It didn't work. Naslund being covered by Messier, fed it back to Robinson. On the left side, Curvers. Pass ahead, that's offside across center ice.
This time on Montreal's power play, they get a chance to go with their first unit. The last power play they had, they couldn't play that first unit because they had just come off the bench. We let Ryan Walter, he'll play some center ice in the power play, normally a left wing. He filled in at center ice with his club this year when Stéphane Richer was injured. Dave Lumley may or may not have been the culprit on that line change. He is serving the penalty.
And he has a minute and 34 seconds remaining in that penalty. No score. Canadiens and Oilers. Jam-packed house at the Forum in Montreal. Naslund coming to center. Curvers slides it in. Walter had to stop there at the line and straddle it and didn't see the pass. It went right through his skates. Coming back, Robinson. And so is Gretzky. Gretzky chasing Robinson. Robinson had to hurry the pass. And Gregg waited for it. Gregg just flipped it ahead, but now Ryan Walter starts Naslund away. Naslund to center, backhands it high over Jackson. Jackson went back to the net. Walter is all over him. Here comes Curvers from the blue line, sliding it in. Ryan Walter in the corner, got it back near the line. Darlene, there's a shot by Robinson. And that came off the glass and bounced down to the side of the net. And the goaltender, Andy Moe, grabbed it, and he held it.
Goaltenders playing.
The Maple Leafs have opened the scoring at the Gardens against the Quebec Nordiques, and it is a former Nordique, Marion Stastny, signed in the offseason as a free agent who gets Toronto started. His 15th of the year. Toronto 1, Quebec nothing.
Stastny didn't dress in the game last night in Buffalo.
How do you like that? A goal in Toronto by Stastny. That's not outside or Peter. It's against Quebec. You have to be surprised, John, that Messier's in action.
I'm very surprised, but he said he kept himself in good shape. He rode the stationary bike twice a day and lots of weights, but not on the ice. I bet you he'll wear as the game wears on.
Told me before the game tonight that he had the cast removed yesterday, and he skated for the first time today. And I said, now, you're going to tell me you're going to play tonight? And he winked, and he said, we might try.
The thing about Messier is he's such a good leader, both on the ice and off the ice. The players respect him. They really love him in the dressing room. To have him along on the trip is a real shot of adrenaline for the Oilers at this point. They just lost 2 straight on the road, and with some tough games coming up, the Adams division.
There's a chance for Nyland. Sharp angle, though. He stopped on the boards. Played it into the corner. Bobby Smith with Tremblay in there for Montreal. Nyland again, turning with it. Looks back to the blue line. There's the pass to Robinson. Robinson fed it in. Smith setting it up now. It's rolled in front of the net. Svoboda couldn't stop it. There goes Smith. 10 seconds left of the Edmonton penalty. Robinson from the blue line shot. Blocked by Andy Moe.
Both goaltenders very sharp. Both goaltenders during their last starts. Moog was on Wednesday night in Toronto, was yanked. And Patrick Roy's last start in Calgary, January 4th, he was yanked. Look at the action in front of the net. The shot a little bit high. Nyland tried to knock it out of midair, but Andy Moog says he plays well when he's out above that goal crease. And there you can see how far out of the net he is. Good movement here. Everybody tried to go right for the net as soon as they got control back to Curvers. You see Andy Moog how sharp he is by hanging onto the puck.
John, you think through 4 minutes, less 3 seconds of power play time tonight for Montreal. That's really the best chance they've had, maybe the only chance they've had.
Ryan Walter will try to win the draw, and he couldn't do it. Coffey back of the net. The Edmonton penalty is over. Pass to the line, stopped by Richer. He feeds it in front. DeBlois couldn't handle the pass. Gretzky just outside the line. That's offside at the Edmonton blue line. Hockey Night in Canada returns in a moment. In the broadcast booth at the Forum in Montreal, Dave Hodge and Don Cherry along with us. For the Edmonton Oilers and the Montreal Canadiens, they've played 12 minutes, and it's just like that. Goaltenders stopping everything so far. Shots are 8-5. Canadiens with a greater number. Lawler at his own blue line. McSorley for Edmonton shoots it in. And Ludwig goes back to the net. Played it over on the far side. DeBlois couldn't come out with it. Oilers try to create some problems inside that Montreal blue line for the Canadiens. McClellan from center to McSorley. Got away from Walter. McClellan again set it up. Law covering on the angle. Made that save easily. DeBlois now starting out. Richer and Walter up on the play. There's Richer. Tried to go in. And Walter grabbed it. Then he lost it. Nearing the 13-minute mark of the opening period as Toffee goes in. Dropping it back, Gretzky. Gretzky slides it into the side of the net. Gretzky again, back of the goal, centered it. Zummanen couldn't find it, and the Canadiens 3 of them stayed out. Pass to Tremblay. Tremblay goes in, fired the shot. The rebound was right there. Gretzky got back to pick it up for Edmonton. Gretzky's pass up to the line. Tremblay rolled it in there. There's a shot, Carbonneau. Another shot. Scramble around the net, and the net is off the moorings. But let me tell you, the goaltender Andy Moog had his head spinning around looking for that puck.
And a pretty good save by Charlie Huddy. That net was actually off the moorings there for the couple of the last shots, but great play as Carbonneau got in front on a giveaway by Wayne Gretzky. The puck was moved quickly to Carbonneau. And look at Moog try and stay with him. Didn't commit too early. Now watch Charlie Huddy come in and play goal for the hockey club. Now the net's off the moorings already, but he makes another save anyway. Pretty heavy action as Charlie Huddy's playing goal. Andy Moog made a couple of good saves again. Wayne Gretzky, you don't see him give the puck away too often in his own zone.
The best save that Huddy made, if we can count him like a goaltender, was the second one, and that would have been fun if it had gone in the net because the net wasn't quite on the post boring at the time.
Carbonneau won the draw. A shot from the blue line by Robinson. Missed. Still no score in this first period. Carbonneau again. Fired the puck back inside the Edmonton line. Here comes Bob Gainey, but Curry comes back to help. Curry being forced to the corner by Carbonneau. Carbonneau went in after it. Nyland trying to help him. Curry pins him on the boards, and they get a whistle.
Mark Messier on his left skate is wearing quite a pad. He's got it taped to the outside of his skate. We'll be able to see it when he takes his face off to the left of Andy Moog. He had the broken bone in his foot, and I'm surprised at how much ice time he's getting. And I wouldn't think he's going to take that skate off between periods because it just may swell right up on him.
Well, there's Guy Carbonneau, who came up with the steal off Gretzky. That's a combination, as John mentioned, we'll see a lot of tonight. Messier got the winning goal in overtime here when these teams played on the 20th of November. Since then, the Canadiens are unbeaten on home ice with 9 wins and a tie in 10 games.
Robinson from the blue line again. Take the shot. Svoboda let it go. And Andy Moog, very, very sharp in this first period. Taped that one all the way and made the glove save.
Andy Moog just ordered a new mask. He's going to get one of those fiberglass half-cage masks where you're going to have the wires embedded right into the fiberglass mask. Grant Fuhrer started wearing one of those fiberglass cage masks. Andy Moog very confident looking tonight. Very aggressive playing. Again, we'll look at that pad on the left skate of Mark Messier when he bends down for this face-off. It's taped right to the outside of that skate on his left foot.
Carbonneau again with a draw. Svoboda's shot. That's blocked. Another chance. Robinson didn't get a good shot away. And the Oilers cleared out to center. Carbonneau intercepted a pass, but Fogelin got it ahead to Messier. Coming in with Curry. Curry on the side took the shot. Wow, a sharp save. Picking out the right leg. Back up for Montreal. Here's Bob Gainey coming in there. Gainey shooting! And that's stopped by Andy Moog. But Gainey breaking in from the right side. Testing the goaltender. Still no score.
If you're a young Canadian thinking about where you're going,
In the first period, 5 minutes and 47 seconds.
Bob Kevin Lowe on the ice. He has a bad case of the flu. They also think he might have tonsillitis, but he hasn't missed a shift. 5 of the Oilers have the flu tonight.
Kevin Lowe, the roommate of Gretzky. Doesn't get that too better. They'll another roommate.
I would think so.
There's Kevin Lowe, number 4. Pass ahead to the blue line. Gretzky is on the move with it. And he made that move at the line, but Messier, you never say he's been off skates 5 weeks. He was really flying down the left side. He was offside.
You know, Wayne Gretzky has an interesting way of looking at things. He said when he's playing well and having a real good streak, he should score on about 25% of his shots. His scoring percentage right now is 15.8, so he always seems to strive for that extra little bit of perfection. Imagine if he scores on 25% of his shots. He's only had 196 shots this year.
Huddy's shot, juggled a little bit by Waugh. Puck off the boards, and Bobby Smith hammered it on the boards to the side. It got to the line. Another weak shot from the blue line. Gretzky went in there looking for it. Right in the goalkeeper's area. It comes back to Huddy. Screen shot. Didn't get by Bobby Smith, who got his leg in front of it. In there watching Huddy start away. Huddy's pass through the middle. Gretzky carries over the line, drops it back. Naslund was there. He gets going. Naslund coming in with Darlene trailing, and Bobby Smith up on the play now. At the line, Ludwig is stopped. Now they'll go the other way as the Oilers get it up to Gretzky. Gretzky went in there and dropped it to Coffey. Took a shot going for the far side and just missed. Now Curry fed it along the boards. Gretzky in action inside the line, and he gave that one to Naslund. Up for Darlene. Darlene is stopped by Curry. Curry bumped by Naslund. Anderson missed it. At the line, Gretzky has it. Gretzky dropped it over in front of Coffey. And going down on the shot was Waugh, but it was cleared by Ludwig in a hurry. Bobby Smith with Rooney up on the play, and he is offside at the Edmonton blue line.
You're looking at the vice president of the Players Association. He is, some say, is playing the best hockey of his career, Bobby Smith. Would you agree, Dick?
17 goals. I can't say about his career because, of course, he played so long in Minnesota. 17 goals this year. He had 16 all of last year. We had another case, J.D., here a minute ago of the two top scoring lines out against each other, and both were guilty of bad giveaways when they had the puck moving into the zone and were set to get a chance.
In watching the last half of this period, it almost appears that both teams have so much respect for each other, they don't really want to open it up at all. I've never seen Edmonton kill penalties as tentative, in other words, not trying to take chances to score themselves. They're really playing a defensive-style game, and Montreal are doing a great job in picking up the trailers, where Edmonton like to pass the puck back a lot.
Larry Robinson from center ice. Fired one in. That's Napier turning. Tremblay is chasing him. Into the corner they go. Gregg got it loose for Jackson. He didn't see it. Anderson is over there. Got it across his own line, and Strudlin tied him up on the boards. Tremblay is given a bump. Messier turning in his own zone. Messier stopped at the line. Tremblay watching his every move. Got it ahead to Gregg. Gregg left it there for Napier. He dropped it back. Again, the puck fired high at the Canadiens bench by Messier. Live on CBC Hockey Night in Canada.
Park, the new coach of the Detroit Red Wings, into the second period at the Nassau Coliseum. The Red Wings are trailing the Islanders 4-0.
Their number one goaltender, Stefan, is injured. He has a pinched nerve. You're going to see Brad Park, by the way, hired Eddie Jackman to help be the goaltending instructor for the Detroit Red Wings.
3 minutes and 35 seconds left in the first period. And there's no score. Puck fed into the Canadian zone. McSorley checking his man. McClellan ran into Richer, and Richer went flying. There's Kevin Lowe. Deblawall took him in on the boards. Robinson is back there watching McClellan, and the referee, Andy Van Helleman, decides to call the play for a face-off in the Montreal zone to the right of the net.
Craig Ludwig, in the center of your screen, scored his first goal of the season the other night, the game opener against the Bruins Wednesday. I tell you, it was a dandy. Top corner, cut in from the left side. You had to blink to see who it was. Here's a fellow who's been a very pleasant surprise in Edmonton, Marty McSorley. When last seen here in Montreal, he was a Pittsburgh Penguin.
He comes from a family of 10 kids. He has a brother that plays in Toledo, the International League, but they wonder if he has a coat hanger stuck in his mouth because he continually smiles, Marty McSorley does. He's a real pleasant guy to be around.
Update game tonight. Quebec is at Toronto. We have reported one goal, that by the Maple Leafs. They're leading 1-0 first period. Here, no score first period. have to be careful now. The Oilers controlling on the draw. It's over the glass into the crowd.
Fellas, a new trophy in the league called the President's Trophy goes to the team that ends up with the most points overall. A $200,000 bonus goes with it. Now, if Edmonton happened to win it, they've already had a vote amongst the players, and they're going to take that money and divide it amongst the trainers, which would be some gift if they happen to win it. I believe there's 4 trainers, $50,000 each. Not bad, huh?
Canadians have Kent Carlson out on defense, number 3. He was brought up last week when Rick Green suffered the broken thumb in the game against the Soviets. He made a rather serious, or almost a serious mistake there. Could have been a moment ago.
Looking at Guy Carbonneau, you know, they talk about people that use short sticks in the league.
Yeah.
You've got maybe 3 of the shortest in the game here. Carbonneau's stick is very short. Yuri Curry's and Lee Foglin's. Thank goodness they've all been the shortest since Bobby Lalonde decided to quit playing, huh?
Yeah, but Bobby Lalonde used a short stick because he was short. The other fellows
They bend over, they play
right.
that style. You wonder about Curry, too. Well, you see the way he plays the style, but he has that great shot with such a short stick.
On the draw, Canadians. Gainey stopping there. Got a rink-wide pass to the right side for Nyland. He was covered. And Fogelin goes back. Lowe taking the man out in front of the net. Edmonton Oilers start up with 2:45 left in the period and still no score. It's played in on the left wing by Kevin Lowe. He chases it into the corner. McSorley, he lost it. Ludwig trying to get loose, had a slap at it. McSorley again. Carbonneau lifted his stick, and Nyland takes over. Nyland and Gainey skate out to center ice. Nyland decides to shoot it in, and the Canadians make changes now as the Oilers go back to pick it up with 2:20 left in the period. McSorley didn't see the return pass, and the Canadians. Carlson's pass to center. Here comes Bobby Smith. He's in there. Smith and Dahlin. It was dropped to Dahlin. He didn't think that pass was coming back, and he went off balance, and the Oilers opened it up. Hunter played it into Coffey. It goes back to Gretzky in behind him, and Robinson got it to center to Dahlin and Naslund. Naslund coming in there. Slides it over for Bobby Smith, and it was just out of his reach. Gretzky now turned. The puck was rolling. It bounced over his stick. Naslin's shot deflected by Huddy. Still up the line. Robinson has to hold it out. Kubota to Robinson. 1:40 left in the period. Bobby Smith in again with Naslund. Naslund cutting in, and that high pass bounced over Naslund's stick. Bobby Smith scores! Dahlin got it in front to Bobby Smith, and it's 1-0 Montreal.
Well, when you see a couple of Swedish hockey players, you wonder whether or not they're going to be able to control the board. And Dahlin and Naslund do the job as far as controlling the boards before they got it out to Bobby Smith. But watch how they dump the puck in. Now they're going to control it. Naslund's already looked and spotted Dahlin. Now Bobby Smith gets himself right into position as soon as he saw that Dahlin was going to get it. And they just out-hustled the Oilers, got control of it, and the first goal of the hockey game.
Of the year scored by number 15, Bobby Smith. Assisted by number 20, Shell.
29, the time of the goal by Bobby Smith from Dahlin and Naslund. That's number 18 on the year for Smith. 1-0 Montreal. Tremblay's shot now. That's in back of the net. Randy Gregg back there for Edmonton with 1 minute and 10 seconds left in the opening period, and the Canadians have grabbed the lead, leading 1-0. Oilers back again. Now 1 minute to play in period number 1. Rooney watched the puck slide to center. The Canadians shoot it back in. Jackson turns around and gives it to Gregg. Randy Gregg stepping out. Played ahead. Messier shoots one in. Here comes Anderson. Slapped at it. A high shot goes off the glass and into the crowd.
Stay with us in the first intermission. Inside Hockey looks at the high sticking rule. We'll talk to tonight's referee, Andy Van Hellemond, and, of course, to Don Cherry in the coach's corner.
Bobby Smith getting the goal, and for Smith, he now has a point streak running through 12, make it 13 games tonight, and it's 23 points through the 13th game here, 10 goals, 13 assists. And as you say, J.D., he's playing some awfully good hockey between the two Swedes. Says it's the first time he's ever been on a line for any length of time and hasn't really talked things over with his line mates. They just go out and play.
Well, Naslund certainly plays every night, and Dahlin has certainly followed Naslund's style of play. So if Bobby Smith shows up, they should be all right.
Canadians on the puck again in the center ice area. Nyland's pass grabbed by Anderson. Edmonton Oilers starting deep in their own zone. Gregg, with 20 seconds left, got it ahead. Jackson got away from one check and then another. Jackson played it in front. The Canadians were back. Gainey couldn't clear it out of the zone, and 10 seconds to play in the period. It goes in back of the net. Ludwig failed to come up with it. The Canadians dump it out of the zone to center ice, and Gregg goes back, and the siren sounds to end the first period. The shots on goal were 13-7 for Montreal.
Take a look at Mark Napier as he comes off. He got an elbow in the mouth from Ludwig. Right there, you see the elbow, and Napier was very slow in getting up. But Montreal was checking on the Gretzky line, on Anderson, on Curry. They did the job pretty well.
And the score at the end of the first period is Montreal 1, Edmonton 0.
The problem of injuries to the facial area. Another remedy would be to keep the sticks down. That involves a stricter application of rule number 58.
One flick of the stick, a man's hockey career may be ended, his vision impaired, his future hopes dashed. High sticking causes injuries, many of them serious, and the NHL is concerned. Watch for more visors in the league. Watch for a crackdown on the stick swingers. According to Rule 58A, the carrying of sticks above the normal height of the shoulder is prohibited, and a minor or major penalty may be imposed on a player violating this rule at the discretion of the referee. 58C, when a player carries or holds any part of his stick above the height of his shoulder so that injury to the face or head of an opposing player results, the referee shall have no alternative but to impose a major penalty on the offending player. But Rule 58 is often ignored. Last Saturday night, the Leafs' Russ Courtnall took a stick in the eye. Accident or not, there's supposed to be a major penalty on the play. Coach Dan Maloney says, why not? Same night in Boston, 2 more high sticks. Ray Bourque goes down. No penalty on the play. Charlie Simmer's injury was more serious, struck in the eye by a high stick. He's just out of hospital. Fortunately, no permanent damage to the eye, but again, no penalty. Whatever happened to Rule 58?
What happens here, I think, is that the referees sometimes shirk their responsibilities. They see it happen, they think it's accidental, maybe it is accidental, and most times it is. They turn away from it for fear that they may have to call a match penalty and throw the player out of the game. In effect, that's what happened to Charlie Simmer in Boston the other night. The referee, from what we can tell from the tapes, knew exactly what was happening, but was reluctant to call it, shirked his responsibility.
There have been several incidents lately where players have been injured with high sticks, and yet no penalties were called.
There's only been one, and that was a Simmer case. It was with Orlando, and it was unfortunately was undetected by everybody concerned. A lot of people didn't even see that. I think a lot of the players didn't see that. It was just one of those freakish things that happened, and unfortunately nobody saw it to make a judgment on it.
Over the years, eye specialist Dr. Tom Pashby has treated an alarming number of players who've lost their vision to hockey injuries.
And I've got a list, I guess, of 21 careers ended from eye injuries in the NHL. And another 17 who have been injured, lost time, but have got back clean.
I cut a nerve in my right above the eye, and I couldn't feel. I lost all the feeling in there, and I thought that I had lost my eye for sure. It felt like mush, and the blood was coming out quite quickly, and I just thought that right away that I was done, that I didn't have an eye, and I was really scared. And the first thing I asked the doctor was, when he opened my eye, was it okay, because I couldn't see it first because of all the blood.
Hockey men feel there are 2 main reasons for the increase in facial injuries caused by high sticking.
And I think that college players and some junior players who have been subjected to wearing these things all their young careers come into the National Hockey League without being aware of what the consequences are of carrying their sticks high.
Oh, I think the rules are there, Brian. I think what they have to do is enforce them. I know in amateur hockey they say now that the sticks are up because they feel they can't hurt someone. And then they carry it over into the NHL. But they got to learn to play hockey with the stick down, I would say. I mean, that's something that's an educational thing.
I think it's just an attitude problem. It's been something that players have been, I don't know if they've been taught or whether they're just careless in their play, but the game is to be played with the puck on the ice, and that's where the stick should be. But for some reason or another, it's just not happening that way.
Well, you never want to get on the referees' backs and tell them they're not doing their job, but they're going to have to. They're going to have to go to a point where they almost exaggerate the calls so that players realize that, hey, this is a serious deal, and that they keep the sticks down. Otherwise, it's going to go on, and there's going to be more players hurt seriously.
When will the sticks come down? Certainly not until there's a stricter enforcement of Rule 58. And not until there's an attitude change among the players. If the sticks don't come down, the league could make visors mandatory. Meanwhile, some stars are covering up voluntarily.
I'm going to wear one. I got clipped very close to the eyes 5 times last year, and then again this year once where I got a few stitches, and I think it's just too many close calls, and you know, I just don't want to have to end a career because of an eye injury, or go through the rest of my life with one eye.
While others continue to take their chances.
Well, as of right now, I'm not going to try the visor. I do recommend it to kids, and I recommend it to the youngsters, but as far as I'm concerned, I won't put one on right now.
If and when all NHLers wear visors, high sticking will not be the problem it is now. But as serious injuries continue to occur, something must be done to keep the sticks down. Hockey Night in Canada will continue in just a moment.
Something before dinner, sir. I'd like half a bottle of Golden. A half bottle, sir? Of Molson Golden. Howard, you won't believe this, but there's some weirdo over there who wants a half bottle of Golden. And this gentleman would like the other half. Sir, would you like the top half or the bottom half?
You're smooth, son. Smooth as golden.
Aerodynamics is a
His stick says
he's responsible for his stick and his actions with the stick. And if his stick comes up and causes injury to a head or face, I can only speak for myself, and I'm sure I'm speaking for all the other fellows as well, but it's a penalty.
Have you had any direction from the league based on the injuries that have occurred to look for high sticks to call more penalties?
No, not at all. However, we have a seminar every year. We all get together and we review the first half of the season, and we're meeting this coming week in Toronto on Monday and Tuesday, and perhaps it'll be brought up then regarding the various injuries that have happened the last month or so.
When you read the rule, it says that you shall have no alternative but to call a penalty if you see an injury occurring because of a high stick. Do you interpret it that literally?
Well, yeah, the stick is a follow-through on a shot. The player's head's down, he shoots the puck, and the attacking player who comes to check him runs into the stick. We look at that perhaps a little differently than if the man's coming to check a man and the man being checked raises a stick and put it up in a man's face. So there is some variation there, but if like I said earlier, the player must be responsible for his stick, and he has to control it.
And I'm sure you agree that there is some responsibility on the part of the referee, but what about the coaches and the players themselves? I mean, is it a shared responsibility that everybody must concern themselves with?
I would think so, but over the years that I've been involved in the hockey, I've noticed that the fellows coming in have played junior hockey with their protective equipment, and perhaps they're just a little less respective or responsible for their stick, and it's now come into our level of hockey.
Thank you. Andy Van Hellemond, tonight's referee. We'll continue on Hockey Night in Canada in just a moment. first let's establish how serious a problem you think this is. Injuries to the face, the eyes, because of high sticks.
Well, when you see guys getting 30 stitches to the eyes, you see 5 guys in one night with eye injuries, it is serious. And in the old days when they kept their sticks down, you'd see 5 eye injuries a season.
Now, you would surely not suggest that helmets be taken off to bring the sticks down. This logic has always escaped me, and visors would appear to be becoming a way of life, too. So would you think, then, that after everybody is well protected, that the sticks can come up and we shouldn't worry about it, or should there still be an effort to keep the sticks down?
Well, I hate to, everybody's blaming the referees, and I really don't blame them. They call them, they're told how to call it, and if they had, every time they brought their sticks up, there'd be 5-minute majors is gone. When I was coaching, I remember I used to call them over, a guy would be bleeding from a high stick, and they'd say, no penalty. I don't blame them if they're told to do it, and they get all the teams together and say, now we're going to do this. From this day on, that's the way to do it, and there'll still be high sticks.
Well, hockey's famous for changing the rules without ever changing the rules in the book.
I know. I know. You read it in the book. It says even if you bring your stick up, you're supposed to get a penalty. But let's face it, Dave, the game would be 5 hours long.
Didn't Doc Pashby make the most logical statement of all? The rules are there. Enforce them. It makes life so simple.
I know. It's easy to say. I'll tell you what I'd like to do. I'd like to start teach them about this age. You talk to the coaches now. These kids from this all the way up in junior, no fear at all the sticks. No fear at all. In fact, I see them after they score a game, they take the sticks and tap the kid on the head. It's starting here. There's where we've got to start. It's tough telling a guy 30 years old to keep his stick down. I'll tell you, I don't know what the solution is. It's a tough one to go.
But the game is played better that way. The puck is down there. The stick has to be down there to shoot the puck. And why wouldn't coaches be telling people to keep their sticks down?
Okay, you see a guy now. They say, why isn't there body check? And you see a guy now, when you go to get body check now, the guy, the first thing he does is bring up a stick and hide
stick. If the first thing the referee did was whistle a penalty, the stick wouldn't be up as much.
It's true, but the game would be 5 hours long. It's a tough situation. I'm not blaming the referees. It's got out of hand, Dave, and you and I talked about this a long time ago. To start bringing in the helmets and start bringing in the visors, the sticks are going to be up. It's a way of life now, and the visors are here and the helmets are here, but it's a way of life, and it's not going to get any better.
I've heard the people who promote or at least condone fighting, and perhaps you're one of them, suggest that fighting is great. It's an outlet because as long as you can fight, the high sticking will be less. Suddenly, we're seeing just as much fighting and much more high sticking than even you imagine.
Well, wait a minute. This game is a tough game. You plays your games, you takes your chance. My mother said...
So is fencing, Don, and you don't want the helmet.
Doesn't matter. They had fencing to start with. The thing is, it's a tough game. You send your kid out to get a loaf of bread, he takes a chance. I'm telling you, this is a tough game. Let's not turn it into tiddlywinks. What's next? A suit of armor. I don't know what the solution is, but I told you a couple of years ago that it was going to start.
You send your kid out, you want him protected as well as possible.
Yes.
No matter what he's set out to do.
That's true. But you take your chances in this game. This is a tough game. Take your chances to play this game. This is a tough game, and
and the game should be played with the sticks on the ice.
No way. Sticks should be on the ice. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's end in agreement.
Sticks in. All right. Start here. Sticks on the ice, kids, and it'll be a better game.
Live on CBC, this is Hockey Night in Canada. Smith's 18th goal of the season. The Canadiens outshot the Oilers 13-7.
And the second period is underway with the Edmonton Oilers. Semenko being stopped by Carbonneau. Jackson goes back in his own zone from the corner. He saw Curry. Now Gregg takes it. Gregg coming out with a pass to Semenko. It's booted in across the line by Curry, but the Canadiens very quickly come back. Naslund didn't get too far. Carbonneau at the blue line. Carbonneau can't make a play. And the Oilers check more closely now. Gretzky's pass to the far side to Curry. To Gregg. He just made contact with the puck, and it rolled off the boards, and the Canadiens shoot it out again. Semenko fed it by Carbonneau. Larry Robinson comes up along the boards. At the Edmonton bench, it rolls inside the Edmonton blue line, and Gregg is back for Semenko. He just flipped it back to the corner. Now it hits his skate, and Gretzky nearly lost it in front of the net. It comes to Dahlin. He set it up. Dahlin again, right in with Naslund. three-way passing play, but they were all in too close. Lawler shot high on the glass. The Canadiens leading 1-0. And here's Naslund again, intercepting a Gretzky pass, and it's deflected into the crowd.
See Matsy scratching the top of his helmet. He said, "Why didn't I shoot?"
From the Forum in Montreal, this is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. John, you mentioned a moment ago about, or rather in the first period at any rate, Gretzky giving the puck away. He miscued a couple of times on that shift.
And he was fortunate. Naslund decided not to shoot the puck. It would have been 2-0 in favor of Montreal. Wayne Gretzky very seldom gives the puck away like that, sometimes from being too fancy. Montreal's good defensively.
Canadiens coming out of the zone, led by Darlene. Naslund and Smith up on the play. Here comes Bobby Smith. He has the only goal in the game. Into the corner, Smith digs it out. Smith centered it to Naslund. Ludwig up the blue line shot. It's blocked. The Oilers nearly get a break with Messier in behind everybody. Now offside called at the Edmonton blue line.
John, you and Dave Hodge must have quite a trouble of adjustment here tonight. In the last 2 hockey games you fellas worked, you saw, what, 36 goals in 2 games?
And both times the games were involving the Leafs. In fact, one of them had Andy Moog in goal for the first part of it, for the first 5.
It's only 1-0. I mean, this is a quiet night.
It certainly is. It's kind of nice to see for a change.
They've hit the 2-minute mark of the second period. Bobby Smith, the only goal of the game, back at 18:29, period number 1.
Well, there is Shel Dahlin, the leading rookie point getter in the NHL with 50. It's a 17-point lead over his nearest rivals going into this weekend's action. And he's got great anticipation, J.D.
Well, here's that play that's going to be set up. And look at those Europeans have that ability to stop, get to the other edge very, very quickly. He's a good friend of Håkan Loob, Swedish player playing for the Calgary Flames. In fact, they played 1 year together. Shel Dahlin's also got a brother that played hockey over in Sweden. His brother Anders played 5 years.
McTavish is number 14 going in there for Edmonton. On the other side, Lumley has bumped off the puck, and Ludwig looks around. He waited, nearly lost it. Oilers can't keep it in. McTavish from center ice turns, hands it off. Lumley shot. Scores! Edmonton has tied it on a bullet shot from the right side.
Ends up being a short side goal. Edmonton continue to try to go to the outside as Montreal congests that middle. So there's the pass to the outside. Short side goal on Patrick Waugh. He lifted up a little bit. Now he's got to go back down to try and get the puck. And I believe it ticked the bottom of the goaltender's glove and deflected into the net.
Also went in just off the post. So Dave Lumley has put the Oilers on the board. Former member of the Canadiens organization. It's 1-1.
2:27, the time of the tying goal by Lumley. McTavish set it up, and Fogelin also got an assist. So it's 1-1. Edmonton back in it. Fogelin from the line to McTavish. It skipped away from him. Svoboda back there, played it ahead. Skrudlin missed it. Then he was hit as he tried to move up as Fogelin caught him, trying to go through. Fogelin back at his own line. Feeds a pass ahead near center ice. Lowe comes up for it. Kevin Lowe went in. Fired it off to the corner in back of the net. Waugh out of the goal, and Rooney is over there. He left it, and the Canadiens move it out. Svoboda gets up to the Edmonton line with Tremblay. Skrudlin over here. Skrudlin got it back, but too quickly, and Robinson couldn't move in time. Now Gainey backhands it in. Out of the net is Moog. He decides to shoot it the other way in hopes that the Oilers can skate it out. Anderson has it, and he feeds it ahead. Curry and Gretzky up with him. There's Curry trying to move away from Nyland, and he was stopped. Nyland is bumped by Jackson, and Gretzky goes in. Gretzky across the line, dropped it back, looking for Curry, and the Canadiens were covering up. The Oilers were changing. Jackson going to the bench, didn't see the puck, and Gainey back to his own line. Gainey's pass missed Carbonneau. Anderson for Edmonton as they've hit the 4-minute mark of the second period, and we're tied at 1. Anderson comes in. Couldn't get by Gainey. Now he does as he stayed with it, and Robinson goes back to the net. Out to Nyland, back to Robinson. Curvers behind the Canadiens' goal. Sees Gainey. He left it for Carbonneau. Carbonneau stopped by Coffey, but here's Robinson trailing. Robinson to Gainey. Dropping it back. front of the net. Back of the goal, Robinson in there looking for it. In on the boards. The Oilers shoot it away. Wayne Gretzky coming to center. A long pass. Here comes Coffey. Scores! Coffey picking the short side with a burst of speed.
John,
the Oilers lead.
I think the key here, John, is the play that Coffey made to take the pass right when Curvers was going to grab the puck or stop him.
Exactly. Curvers had almost stopped himself and tried to reach for the puck. Gretzky reads the play, flips it across. Now watch Curvers almost stop. Coffey's a left-handed shot there. It's a real good angle. Did he ever have room on that short side? And just a quick flick of the wrist, and it was up top, all in stride. Now watch Curvers here as he reached for the puck and missed it. There goes Coffey. Short side, up top. The Oilers strike quickly here in the second period.
4:42, the time of the goal by Coffey.
Bob, that's a 22-game point streak now for Paul Coffey. And Wayne Gretzky extends his to 33 games.
So the Oilers take the lead here in the second period. Ryan Walter left it for Richer, 44. He saw DeBlois scooting in, but couldn't get the pass through. Lowe fed it back to the Canadian zone. Ludwig is back there. He nearly got beaten by McSorley. Now Svoboda has to back up, and the Oilers are forechecking more now in the second period.
You know, fellas, we mentioned that Montreal like to clog up the center of the ice. Both those goals, Edmonton have gone wide and came in and made the play for the goals. That's something they try to do against Montreal.
McClellan missed the pass. Ludwig to DeBlois, to Ryan Walter. He backhands it in. Lowe has to hurry back there. Schumann trying to tie up DeBlois. The Oilers trying to clear in the corner. Ryan Walter centered it. Got away from DeBlois. Svoboda faked the shot. Gave it to Richer in the corner. Fogelin is all over him. McClellan covering his man. And the puck squirts loose. Here comes Kevin Lowe to pick it up. Kevin Lowe looking at Schumann. Gives it to him. Schumann nearly gave it away. The puck comes outside the line. McSorley shoots it in. The Oilers make changes now. They've hit the 6-minute mark of the second period. And it's 2-1 Edmonton. Randy Gregg at the line. Tried to stick handle a bit and lost it. Jackson coming back to Gregg. And Gregg backs up a bit as Naslund was in watching him. Smith, Naslund on the ice with Dahlin for Montreal. Lumley in there. McTavish couldn't get the backhander on the net. And the Canadiens, 3 of them, stayed out of the zone. Up to center is Smith. Going down the left side. Back in front. Svoboda is back to the ice. And a hard check. McTavish back out with Lumley. Here's Lumley coming in, dropping to Gregg. He went for the far side and just missed. Pace picked up a bit now, this part of the second period. They're nearing the 7-minute mark. Robinson to Naslund. Naslund from center. Scooped the high one in. Anderson is back against Dahlin. Dahlin got it loose for Bobby Smith. Huddy chases him. Curver's shot. That was blocked in front by Anderson. Huddy gave it to Coffey. Coffey was giving the Oilers a 2-1 lead here in the second period. Naslund feeds it in again. And going back is Huddy.
Say, this Edmonton team, you don't know what to expect. Tonight it looks like a defensive gem. They haven't given up a shot here in the second period, and we're over 6 minutes into it.
Strudland. He was bumped, and there's going to be a penalty to Huddy on that play. He cross-checked the Canadian player, Strudland, and he is going to get the gate here. The Canadians will go on a power play. Just started going.
See how Messier just simply won the face-off? Edmonton get the puck out of the zone so quickly. What an addition he's going to be for the rest of the road trip.
Curry trying to tie it up. Gretzky takes it inside the line, gives it to Curry. It just skipped away from him. Now Robinson misses it. Walter, a pass to the left side, Naslund. Puck too far from him, and he couldn't control it. Robinson comes up with it. Sets it up neatly. Dahlin up the line, dropped it to Ryan Walter, to Dahlin again. Dahlin centered it. It's off his stick and bounces to Gretzky. Gretzky has lots of time. Stick handles a little bit, comes to center. Gretzky decides to go in there now. But he had it knocked away, and Dahlin turns for Montreal. He's going up with Naslund, dropped it to Naslund. Curry stopped him. Gretzky fed it out of the zone again. 1 minute left in the Edmonton penalty. Here comes Bobby Smith with Naslund waiting behind him for the pass. Now Smith drags it a bit, trying to set something up, springs somebody loose, now gives it to Naslund. Naslund to Smith, shoots! Great save! Smith again back of the net. Darlene along the boards, leaving it for Mats Naslund. Up the line is Robinson. Robinson nearly lost it against Wayne Gretzky. Robinson feeds it ahead. Naslund coming in with 30 seconds left in the Edmonton penalty. And the Oilers leading 2-1. Robinson ran into Hunter at center. Darlene comes on with it. Gave it to Naslund. Naslund to the side. Back to the line. It's outside the blue line. Pervers was out. Canadiens, 3 of them come in again. Here's Naslund going right in. Oh, it just dribbled by the far post. McTavish lost the chance to clear it. It's in there again. Darlene ready. The penalty is over. Naslund. Too many in front of him. He couldn't shoot it. Smith at the side of the net failed to pick it up. And the Oilers have killed another penalty. And the play in along the boards. It's still loose. The referee standing there allows the play to continue. And the Oilers feed it out of the zone.
They won a marvelous effort by Naslund as Jackson was draped all over him. Moog had to make a great save.
There's Bobby Smith working it in. Smith, pass in front, knocked away, and the Oilers come out again. Pass down the right side. Napier racing in, shooting one, and he missed the net by a couple of feet. 9:50 left in the period. 2-1, Edmonton leading. Pass ahead, missing Richer. Huddy is back there, and it's icing against Montreal. This is Hockey Night in Canada from the Forum. With Dick Irvin and John Davidson in the booths at the Montreal Forum. The Oilers lead 2-1. And Messier winning the draw again, but Ludwig picked it up quickly. Oilers have it, though. Long, high shot on the glass. Oilers again, Coffey. His shot hit a stick. Canadiens can't get out. Messier tried to hit a pass across the ice. It bounced against Richer, and Deblois went in there. Richer was in front. Here's Lawler's shot, and that's grabbed by Andy Moog. He saw that one all the way.
He picked that up through traffic once again. Andy Moog, you know he's sharp when he picks up pucks like that through traffic. And the defenseman trying to do the job in front. Coffey and Huddy had been struggling a little bit in this road trip, but the concentration level is certainly there in this hockey game. You know, Charlie Huddy says he improved his game a whole bunch when he played in the Canada Cup last year. Even though he didn't play very much, he played some with Doug Wilson and some with his regular partner in Paul Coffey.
When you play with or against better hockey players, you get better yourself.
And I think that's why Edmonton has the best goaltending in the business, because they play against some of the best players in the world every day in practice.
Canadiens on the draw. A low shot that Moog grabbed with the glove as Lawler tried to whip one along the ice.
John, just to finish that thought, I can recall Glenn Hall often saying when he was in Chicago and they had Bobby Hull, Stan McKean, he said his worst moments were practice. The games were a breeze. Having to look at those guys every day of the week.
Those are those days, though, when they didn't wear masks and such. Glenn Hall, incidentally, is the goaltending coach for the Calgary Flames. Been keeping busy looking around, seeing the players in the minors and such.
This program is copyright and restricted for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited.
For the Montreal Canadiens, when they play a game, they rate their players between 1 and 10 after every single game. Lemaire last year rated them between 1 and 5. Perron decided to do it between 1 and 10. I think it keeps the players aware, and they try and stay awake for every game.
Carbonneau winning the face-off. Nyland goes in after it, but McTavish comes up with a puck for Edmonton. Into the corner. Jackson has given a bump. Gregg goes the other way. Nyland was the Canadian player in checking the Oilers defenseman, John Jackson. Montreal back deep in their own zone. Starting out to the lines. Svoboda's pass ahead. Here comes Carbonneau. Carbonneau's in. Stopped by Andy Moog. Carbonneau again. Can't get a backhander up the net. And the Oilers get it across the line. And now Carbonneau's been hurt. Nyland now is going after Jackson. And they're going to go at it.
A couple of heavyweights here. Jackson did something to Carbonneau, I guess, because this is the first outbreak of the hockey game. They haven't come close. Meanwhile, Guy Carbonneau is acting as though he has been injured. He's down on his knees.
Hey, Don Jackson just simply can't get his right hand loose. And Nyland had his right hand loose, and that was the end of that fight. But Carbonneau is holding his left hand. He's being attended to now. Now he's checking his jaw. Maybe the stick is up around the jaw. Chris Nyland jumped in immediately with Jackson. Chris Nyland's been keeping his stick down tonight for a change. He's been involved with a lot of incidences this year himself, including Lanny McDonald, Rick Middleton, John Van Beesbrook.
And there will be major penalties here.
Winner by decision, and certainly the people's choice here right now at the Montreal Forum when that little set two had ended. Jackson and Nyland now continuing things verbally over shoulders. We're going to take a look here, J.D., possibly at the reason for all of this. I don't think it started between Jackson and Nyland. I think it was because of Jackson and Carbonneau and whatever might have happened there. At least that's our assumption up here. I didn't see it.
Well, Nyland goes by the nickname of Knuckles, and he uses Knuckles there. Now, here's how it starts. Watch Jackson. There's the elbow right up to the head of Guy Carbonneau. Now, watch Jackson get up and see what he does. Whoop, there you see what he does. That's a high stick, and that's ridiculous. Boy, oh boy. And Carbonneau does wear a shield, and perhaps there he's fortunate. And you see why Nyland decided he better get involved, stick up for his teammate. I don't mind Nyland dropping the gloves and getting involved that way, but he's been involved in too many high-sticking incidents this year himself. And he just about, he's gotten away with more than most people do, period. But that time he stuck up for his teammate pretty well.
Jackson gets the 2 minutes, plus the 5. John, you've seen the Oilers in a couple of shaky defensive performances of late. Here we are, past the halfway point of the second period. Okay, they're leading the hockey game 2-1. They've had only 9 shots on goal.
I think both teams, we talked about the pace in the first 5 minutes was very good, but we mentioned the amount of games they've played recently. Edmonton, 3 games in 4 nights. Montreal, this is 8 in 12 nights. They're slowing down. We're not seeing a lot of offense. We're not seeing a lot of body checking until that last little practice, which wasn't exactly body checking. It was more stick work, but we haven't seen a real intense game to this point. It may start picking up now.
Don Jackson, 2 minutes for roughing and 5 minutes for fighting. And to the Canadiens, number 30, Chris Nyland, 5 minutes for fighting. At 11 minutes, 17 seconds.
Okay, if you want to go by the call, Jackson gets the extra 2 for roughing. The stick work wasn't called by Van Hellemond.
Exactly right. Now, Montreal on the power play, 0 for 3 in this game. Number 1 rated power play in the league coming into this game. Haven't had much to show for it.
The Canadiens now with a man advantage, trailing by a goal to these Edmonton Oilers. Bring it in across the blue line. Gretzky trying to get it away from Naslund. Darlene played it into the corner, got it back from Ryan Walter. His pass is stopped in front of the net, and Gretzky takes it to center ice. Gretzky goes up across the Canadian line and back out again. Beats a pass to Curry. It's dangerous. He scores! Gretzky played it beautifully, and he spotted Curry going in. And you know what Curry does when he has room. It's 3-1 Edmonton.
3 shots, 3 goals in this period for the Oilers.
And that's their 14th shorthanded goal. And what a play by Wayne Gretzky. He gets everybody going in the opposite direction. Watch him turn back, go the other way. Everybody chases him. 4 Canadians are going after him right there. And it's a little dump pass to Curry. And hello, Sugar, top corner. And did he snap that shot? Boy, they talked about the penalty killing last night in Quebec of Edmonton. They didn't get a shorthanded goal, but I guess it was outstanding. And what a play that was by 99.
Once again, the Oilers trying to clear it. Naslund in over the line. Still a minute 15 left in the Edmonton penalty, the minor penalty against Jackson. Pass comes out to center ice. Curvers missed it. The puck goes flying off a stick into the crowd behind the penalty box area. Today's game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Started his play. He did exactly what you said they were going to do off the top of the show. They had that formation where they were going to try to prevent the Canadiens from throwing the puck across the ice in the power play. They tried it. Gretzky intercepted it. A couple of seconds later, it's in the net.
Give that credit to John Muckler. He's the technician as far as coaching goes for the Oilers, and he's the one that picked it up and practiced it. It's worked to this point.
Robinson gives it to Tremblay as the Canadiens try to get back into the game. They're trailing 3-1. At the line, Richer. He feeds it in. It's whipped back to the line again. Svoboda turns. Now the shot. That's blocked. Here's a loose puck in front of the net. Robinson scores! And it was knocked down, gloved ahead
will go to the outside of the blue line. Let's see what happens here. The puck's going to be deflected high in the air. Now look and see who knocks it down and where does it go to. Right there, it goes off a Montreal player onto a Montreal teammate's stick. Off of Robinson, and I believe that's Bobby Smith down there, is it?
I tell you, that's a tough call because Robinson knocked it down. Did it hit him first, or did it go to his teammate?
Or did he knock it down, or did he fan, and did it go off his back?
Right. No goal. Would have been a big one, John.
You bet.
It's still 3-1, Edmonton. 30 seconds left on this Canadian power play, but the Oilers have contained the Canadiens so far. Richer to the corner with it. Back to Robinson to the other side. Swoboda to Robinson. Didn't get a shot away. At least not what he wanted. Gretzky is out. Curry is coming. Here's Gretzky to Curry. Oh, what a save by Waugh. Set up again perfectly. Gretzky to Curry. But the goaltender made a big save. Now Gretzky is in. Gretzky got it back of the net. The penalty is over. The Oilers are at full strength. A pass to the line, and Curry stopping it near center, shooting it back in. 6.5 minutes left in the period.
You almost get the feeling after Gretzky figured out that he had given the puck away 3 times in his own zone, he better pull up his socks, and he started to play very well here.
Coffey got it back. Fogelin to center. A high one goes in, off the glass. Lawler is back there for Montreal, so is Anderson for Edmonton. Skrudland is in there. Puck comes in front, and Lawler turns to the side of the net. Beats it ahead. Ryan Walter dropped it back neatly to Ludwig. Ludwig tried to hit Walter again, but he was bumped by Anderson. Walter fell. Oilers are back. It's opened up a bit now. Here in the second, as Napier goes to the side. Centered it right in there. He scored! Coffey got the goal, and it's 4-1.
You know, when Montreal have troubles in their own zone, the Edmonton Oilers are going to start on a roll. I think we're going to see a goaltending change here. Paul Coffey's going to join the play. When he comes in, he's almost past the net, and watch him reach back with a hockey stick and just one-handed past the goaltender, Patrick Waugh. Now, Dick, we talked before the game about Patrick Waugh. Should he have started tonight, or should they have started Doug Sotard?
Well, hindsight's 20/20, John, as you know. Those of us who follow the Canadiens recall very well that Sotard, probably his best 2 games he's ever played for this hockey team, were both against the Oilers last year. In Edmonton, Montreal won them both. Here this season, in the first game between these teams, Steve Penny played and didn't play very well. Now, Patrick Roy, he's a 20-year-old rookie who hasn't seen any game action of any length in over a week. As you pointed out, he was yanked early in the game a week ago tonight in Calgary. Well, now here he is giving up 4 goals in 5 shots, is it, this period? In any event, they've scored, I think that's what it is. You want to count it right back. And it's been a tough spot for him. So Sotard, who's an Edmonton native, takes over.
You know, Waugh had the most wins as far as NHL rookie goaltenders go coming into the game with 13. And he's played pretty well for them, but he was in a strange situation, not dressing for the 2 games after being late, and the previous record of Sotard against Edmonton. Now, you're right, it is hindsight to talk about it now, but we did discuss it before the game. In our own minds, wondered why Sotard was not starting.
Well, he's in there now with his team trailing 4-1. I got a little confused in the shots on goal. They just changed the clock now to 12. So, yes, the Oilers have had 5 shots this period, 4 goals. And the one save that Patrick Roy did make was that 2-on-1 break where Gretzky set up Curry, almost their second shorthanded. This is it right here. That's his only stop of the period. The other 4 beat him.
And the Coffey goal, the 4th for Edmonton tonight, from Napier and Anderson at 14:10. That was right after Curry scored a shorthanded goal for Edmonton. So it's 4-1 Oilers with 5:40 left of the second period. Huddy bumping with Ryan Walter. Puck is fired in, and Sotard gets his first stop. Sharp angle shot, but he had to be alert. Ludwig got it back. Now Lawler played it out. Skrudland got as far as the line and lost it. Turning is McTavish. He just dropped it back to Coffey. Coffey flipped one across center ice. McTavish staying on side. Took a check from Ludwig along the boards as he tried to go after it. And in the corner, they hold it. It comes loose. Bobby Smith now holding it, with McTavish watching him. Play is still alive, and Smith decides to just move it along the boards. Kevin Lowe accidentally knocked it back across the line. to his own zone. Low to McSorley. He was stopped. Robinson coming up. Robinson for Montreal going in against Gregg. He's spun around by the Edmonton defenseman. In on the boards, Gregg and Robinson fighting for it. It comes loose. And the Oilers, with 4.5 minutes left in the period, get going again. Anderson is going in there. Couldn't go by Dahlin. McClellan's shot picked out by Sotard. Bobby Smith, he beats one man, skates to the line, goes to center ice now. Bobby Smith is moving in well. Bobby Smith couldn't get the backhander in. Smith from the corner, rolled it out to Robinson. Shooting! And it's blocked. Rebound. He scored! Robinson, a key player in this goal.
I'll tell you, another key player in this goal is Bobby Smith. Boy, oh boy, when he split the defense, was partially checked and still kept control of the puck, turned around and went against the grain, and nobody had picked up Larry Robinson. And I'll tell you what, see Bobby Smith keep his balance? What a great play. Now he spots Robinson. Look at Robinson's time. Man alive, he's got enough time to move in even closer. Andy Moog had it trickle through his leg, and he knocks it in himself. He didn't know where it was. And in over the goal line, it slides so slowly, but a big goal for Montreal after the goaltending change, Dick.
2-goal hockey game right now. It's starting to open up.
And Bobby Smith coming from his own zone on the play to start it, really, J.D. He looked great as he cut through center ice and took over. So the Canadiens hit back for the goal. Now Robinson again for Carbonneau. Carbonneau and Gainey going in. Gainey goes after it. Gainey on the board. Stopped by Coffey. And the Oilers will come out. Long pass by Hunter. Curry shot. Score! A lightning shot by Curry.
What were you saying about shooting percentages for goals? These guys are batting about 800 in this period.
And again, they go to the outside. Now let's take a look and see if this puck's rolling when Curry takes the shot. He fakes inside, outside. It's rolling, and then it dives, and Sotard had that puck hit the middle of the net. I don't know if he was ready for the shot or what. See the puck rolling when he shoots it? It deflects back the other way. And another goal. Edmonton comes right back immediately after Montreal had scored to try and get some momentum, Dick, and maybe that'll squash the momentum.
You know, the first period, there's no doubt Andy Moog kept the Oilers in the hockey game. But, John, in the second period, the Oilers, they didn't do it with an awesome offensive display. They came back out of the intermission, and they started to use the old cliche, get back to the basics. And they just knocked the Canadiens off the puck, outworked them, played much better positional hockey. It's paid off.
There was a time this winter when the Oilers were not going well. In fact, again, giving up a lot of goals. And Sada said, folks, this is a puck. Let's get back to the basics. And it almost looks like he did it again.
Robinson had scored for Canadiens at 15:55. And now Curry with a second of the night from Hunter at 16:28. And I've got news for you, J.D. Robinson's goal goes officially as unassisted. That's the scoring play we received. Coffey now, a bullet shot. Sotard stopping it. It's 5-2 Edmonton. The Canadiens got back close. And then the Oilers get another one from Yari Curry. A bullet shot. And they're leading again by 3 goals. Oilers Coffey slapped at it. It comes to the line to center. Gainey feeds it over. Tremblay was going to the bench stall. Deblois hustling in. Took a shot. That's blocked by Huddy. And it's cleared by Lumley to center ice to Messier. Messier is on the move. Anderson gets his pass. Anderson can't shoot it. It's kept in by Napier. Napier lost a chance to move it. And Deblois is back out with Richer. Richer up over the line. Handling the puck there just inside the line. Then it's knocked down by Napier. He kicks it ahead. Vogelin and Anderson. Napier catching up on the play. A low shot. Misses the Canadian goal. Oilers dump it into the corner. It goes to the other side with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the period. Here's Mark Napier getting it back. And it's knocked out to the line to Deblois by Walter. Coming up is Robinson. Robinson stops, feeds it in front. And the puck slides to the side of the net as Walter was hammered to the ice by Vogelin. Now Messier starting out with 1:50 left of the period. Anderson has to circle back, and these Oilers are beginning to skate now. Gretzky is on the ice. Low, looking for Gretzky. And there he goes. Look at him move. Gretzky coming in. Feeds it in. Trying to set up Curry for the hat trick, and it just barely missed. Coming out, Naslund. Naslund up the Edmonton blue line. Fired it into the corner with 1:20 left in the period. Canadiens volley, shoot! He missed the far side by a foot. Another shot tipped in front of the net and cleared to the line. Curry gets it to center ice. Smith was trapped in there, but the Oilers will clear it, so the play continues. And now we have 1 minute left of the second period. 5-2 is the score. Edmonton leading. Here's Paul Coffey. He took a pass in front. Curry again! And he was stopped in front of the net by Lawler. Canadiens break out. 50 seconds to play in the period. It's broken up at the Edmonton blue line by Huddy. From the Forum in Montreal, this is Hockey Night in Canada. Period. Lumley, Coffey, Curry has 2, and Coffey is second also. Robinson for Montreal. 5-2 with 30 seconds left in the period. And coming to center, that's Ludwig trying to feed it in. Low. Hammered one on the boards, and it goes all the way back to Lawler. Lawler for Montreal, ahead to Gainey. He is stopped. 15 seconds left in the period. Puck goes in back of the net. Into the corner again. Canadiens try to clear it out. Only 10 seconds left in the period. The Oilers are going to end the second with a 3-goal lead. And there's the siren that ends the second period with the Edmonton Oilers leading the Canadiens 5-2. And now, let's go to Toronto, where the Quebec Nordiques are there.
And at this time, we welcome you viewers on Hockey Night in Canada who have been enjoying the action.
Don Cherry, I don't suppose there's ever a good time to play the Oilers, but is there a worse time to play them than when they're supposedly in trouble?
Well, you know, when they lost that game last night, that was a heartbreaker. I was here this morning, and you know, I saw Messier come in, full of life, just gets the cast off the other day, and he's ready to go, and he can hardly wait to play. And you saw them before the game. You know, you think they have looked bad lately. You think before the game they'd be serious. They had the rock and roll going there. They were all walking.
So did the last place teams. I mean, everybody played.
No, but these guys, I remember we'd come in here. Most teams that we see when we come outside our building, they're all in their room. These guys are sitting in the stands in their underwear. They're loose. Sather comes in, has fun, laughing and joking. They're never serious. I guess that's why they get up for a game like this. They're ready. But you never know. We thought this game isn't over yet either.
John Davidson said something very interesting and might tell us a lot about the Oilers when he said that if they win first place overall and get the $200,000 prize, they have already decided to split it up amongst 4 trainers. A terrific idea, but isn't it a case of spending the money before you got it?
Geez, that's not bad, $50,000 apiece, but power of positive thinking. A lot of people would say that's pretty cocky. I don't think Philly would take too kindly to that. I'm sure if somebody drops that in their dressing room, but these guys don't seem to care. They're like devil-may-care guys. They're ready. I mean, they're loose, and something like that would bother some teams, but no, they're ready.
Well, we want to talk about the Canadiens' part in this game, and I guess that means speaking about the Canadiens' goaltenders. We'll do that when we return as Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment. To talk about it after Sotart replaces Waugh. What's going on? What would you do to change it?
Well, somebody in the organization does not like Sotart. I watched this morning. He was in the morning skate. There was only 5 of them out. He broke his stick over the post and threw his stick and skated off. He's got the lowest average, I think 2.79 of the other guys are up in the 4, but he does not play. He wouldn't have played tonight if the other guy hadn't stunk the joint out. Everybody knows Waugh, high. Three of the goals went in high. Everybody knows you put it high, you're going to score on them. There's some reason they don't put Sotart in. I can't figure it out.
Well, if they don't like him, then use the other 2 and get down to a 2-goalie system.
I don't like it. I think Sotart's going to be the guy there. He's the type of guy that will be around like this morning. He was mad and everything, but he's ready to play. Three goalies never work on any team. It'll never work. one of them or two of them is going to be mad all the time.
Or maybe it's time for the Canadiens to go to the one-goaltender system and announce that one of them is going to play for 5 or 6 games at a time.
Well,
never die with that.
I know Lemaire did not like Sotart last year, and I'm not saying that Lemaire has a lot of influence here, but I know Sotart is on the outs, and you're never going to win when your goalies are like this. Who's in next? Who's in next? Looking over their shoulder. I'm having a bad game. A goal goes in. Am I being pulled? They can hardly wait. And you're never going to be, you're going nowhere in the playoffs until you get down to one goalie, and these guys, they don't have one goalie yet.
Too bad to see Gretzky struggling the way he is this season.
Yeah, he's struggling. It's unbelievable. You know, Bobby Orr is great to me, but I'm going to have to start doing some deep thinking. This guy is unbelievable time after time. That play, I mean, I'm telling you, you don't see that. That is worth the price of admission. This guy is unbelievable.
The Oilers as a team usually are that, worth the price of admission. They are in front of the Canadiens by a score of 5-2. And replay is next, live on CBC. This is Hockey Night in Canada.
Computers and authorized Apple dealers throughout Canada.
Montreal's big line connected for the only goal of the first period. Bobby Smith started and finished the play. His pass to Naslund, to Dahlin, and back to Smith. And Andy Moog is beaten at 18:29 for Bob Smith's 18th goal of the season. The second period was quite different. The Oilers came out and tied the game and started to make life miserable for Patrick Waugh when Dave Lumley fired this one on the short side and tied the game at 1. A couple of minutes later, Wayne Gretzky, long pass to Paul Coffey, beat Tom Curvers and swooped in on the goal in one motion and snapped that shot home to put the Oilers in front. Here is the play, the shorthanded play by Wayne Gretzky, playing Pied Piper with a puck and then just dropping it off to Yari Curry, and he went one way while the Canadiens were trying to go the other. High glove side was beaten again in Montreal, trails 3-1. This is Paul Coffey's second goal of the night, and the last goal that would go past Patrick Waugh. He headed straight to the bench. Coffey, one hand on the stick, just poking it through. Second of the night, 22nd of the season. Obviously, that leads NHL defenseman. Another NHL defenseman who is scoring rather regularly these days, Larry Robinson, gets one as his shot gets that far, and then Andy Moog sends it the rest of the way. 4-2 now for the Oilers. But Yari Curry isn't through. Winds up with that good shot from the right side, and you see it the way Sotart does or doesn't see it, as the Oilers lead Montreal 5-2 after 2 periods.
Hockey Night in Canada replay, brought to you by Apple Computers and authorized Apple dealers throughout.
Period summary, Yari Curry with 2 and Paul Coffey with a pair for the Edmonton Oilers. Dave Lumley also scoring for the visitors. Larry Robinson for the Canadiens. Edmonton got 5 goals on 8 shots. At the NHL scoreboard, it is tied after 2 periods in Toronto. Marion Stastny for the Leafs and Dale Hunter for Quebec. Now to the third period here at the Forum.
Okay, Dave, and it's underway for the Oilers, leading by 3 goals. Giving it up, Gainey scores! Well, you talk about getting a fast goal. Only 8 seconds gone in the period, and Gainey fired a high one in. On that particular play, Don Jackson had control of it, tried to go up the middle instead of off the boards, and a turnover. The puck is rolling again, and Gainey just whips it to the up top corner over Andy Moog's shoulder. When the puck is flat like that against the blade of a stick, he just used it like a slingshot and whipped it up over top of Moog. Don Jackson, bad play going up the middle. All he had to do was bank it off the boards, and Gainey took advantage, Dick.
We welcome the viewers who have been watching the Leafs in the Nordics. I'm Dick Irvin in Montreal with Bob Cole and J.D. John Davidson. The Canadiens, Bob Gainey, has just scored 8 seconds into the third period. It's 5-3, Edmonton leading.
Coffey and Curry have 2 goals apiece for the Edmonton Oilers. Messier's shot, a high glove save by Sotart. Sotart came in the second period with 14-10 gone, replacing Patrick Waugh. Chris Nyland was involved in a fight with Don Jackson in that second period.
he had the clear one-sided decision in it. And I wonder if that winning the fight like that maybe knocked some of the energy out of Don Jackson as he gave that puck away in the zone. But I tell you, Montreal needed a lift. They certainly got it right there, 8 seconds into the third period.
Smith, Robinson, and Gainey have been the Canadian scorers. It's 5-3. With only 28 seconds gone in the third. Mark Messier back in the lineup for Edmonton, having been out for 5 weeks with a hairline fracture in his foot, had the cast removed just a day ago, skated for the first time today. And he's out there now. Puck comes to Sotard. He cleared it away. Messier fed it back in front. Oilers go in after it. It's Messier getting in front of the net. Can't get on track. Huddy's shot, gloved by Sotard. That might have been off the net, but the goaltender grabbed it anyway.
Sotard does the right thing and hanging on to it. Glenn Sather, we talked about goals against. He simply went back to the basics with his coaching staff. That includes Bob McCammon, formerly of the Philadelphia Flyers. And back to basics, and that's what they're trying to do.
Face off deep in the Canadian zone. Oilers with Gretzky. In on the draw, and he got it back to Huddy. His shot hit the side of the net. Gretzky tried to center it. He was in there very quickly. Curry goes in to help Gretzky. Robinson takes over for Canadiens. Robinson's pass. Hasden got it out to Smith. Svoboda is open, going in. Oh, and a nice save by Andy Moog. He just got a piece of it. Canadiens on top of the puck. That's Dahlin, number 20. Anderson finally for Edmonton, starting out. Up to center ice. They went in quickly. Coffey couldn't make a play. Got it again. Near the line. It'll come out. And the Canadiens go after it. Robinson to Smith. Smith gets set near the line. Looking around. Smith gets some room. Backhand shot. Puck is loose there. Both didn't see it. The Canadiens on top of it. Canadian players on time by Coffey. That was Dahlin. The play continues. Three Oilers come to center. Gretzky leads the attack. Beats a pass in. Robinson knocked it away. Gretzky again, centered it. Sotard gets set. They bang away at it, and Doug Sotard hangs on to it.
You know, Doug Sotard is a technically sound goaltender. When he stood up on the short side, he waited until the Edmonton player made the first move, and that bought some time. Now watch him get up and play the short side. Now that buys time for his teammates to get back into the play before Anderson's check. And then Sotard ended up covering up on the rebound. Anderson had a one-on-one confrontation. First of all, now the play earlier, Moog did not see the puck, but he went down smartly in that butterfly position and made the save. And then all kinds of holding and grabbing would set up the 3-on-2 for the Oilers.
Coming up to the 2-minute mark of the third period. Canadiens trailing Edmonton Oilers 5-3. McTavish racing after it near center. Lumley is there also. Lumley couldn't make a play. Rooney nearly picked it off. Now back of the line, Curvers and Ludwig tried to hit Strugland and went all the way down the ice. Lumley comes out. He gives it to McTavish. He shoots it in for Edmonton. Sotard out of the net, stopping it. Strugland back of the net. Got it over for Tremblay. Tremblay is stopped. Strugland there. Gives it to Tremblay. A second time. Oilers forechecking. And the Canadiens try to clear it out. Curver's pass nearly picked off. Lumley went after it. Canadiens just shoot it out. 2.5 minutes gone in the third. It's 5-3 for Edmonton. Sotard has to cover up at a bouncing shot. Puck comes by Rooney. Out into the center ice zone. Pretty good work by Tremblay. Tremblay cutting in there. Went off balance. Had to hook it off to the corner. Oilers try to clear it. Pass to McSorley. He is coming in. Feeds it into the corner at the far side, and Robinson against McClelland. It's knocked out by Ryan Walter. Gregg just feeds it back. The goaltender, Moog, had to cover up. Oilers shoot it to the center ice zone. Ryan Walter tipped it back to Robinson. His pass would have been offside to Deblois, but the Canadian player allowed the puck to roll on. And the Oilers back to McClelland. McClelland going in against Svoboda. Take McClelland in there. Muscles Svoboda off the puck, but Walter was there to intercept the pass. Devereaux racing in against Jackson, and the goaltender, Andy Moog, very wisely coming out, but now Walter intercepts. Walter centered it, and the Oilers cover up again. Coming up to the 4-minute mark of the third as Messier brings it in, shoots right on, and Sotard grabbed it with Robinson there to help him. From the Forum in Montreal, this is Hockey Night in Canada.
On the 8-second mark of this period, J.D. took advantage of an Edmonton turnover. Had the Canadiens taken more advantages those first two periods, it might be a different hockey game. They had the chances.
Nyland comes out of the zone for Montreal, shoots it in as he crosses. Oilers go back. Napier missed it. It took the crazy hop off the glass. Napier is there for Edmonton. Gets his pass from Messier. Coming in, Coffey to Napier. He tried to dump it in front of the net and couldn't. Now it's Carbonneau. Around the net he goes. Nyland tries to get away. Nyland is stopped. Anderson forechecking. Coffey moves up. So does Napier. And Messier has to go back. 4.5 minutes gone in the third period. It's a 5-3 hockey game. The Oilers are leading. Gainey comes up with it. Gainey feeds it ahead too far for Nyland. He's in after it. It's centered. Gainey is covered. Gainey along the boards. Hangs onto it. Gives it to Carbonneau. Carbonneau is checked. Carbonneau still looking for it against Messier. Carbonneau still after it. On the boards, Coffey knocked him down. He got up again. And the Oilers get it out. Lawler fades back. Napier in watching Lawler as he turns in the zone. Long pass to center. Naslund feeds it in. Dahlin is going in there. Dahlin has stopped a beautiful play by Huddy as he got back to break it up. Back in for Gretzky. The Oilers, Gretzky, a shot by Curry is blocked by Sotard. 5-3 the score. Edmonton after it again. It's centered. And Robinson's pass goes all the way down the ice. It's going to be icing with Kevin Lowe back for it. Icing called against the Canadiens. Edmonton 5, Canadiens 3, live on CBC Hockey Night in Canada. 14:31 remaining, third period. The Oilers on the puck, low shot. That missed the Canadiens' net. Svoboda is back there with Larry Robinson. Svoboda looks to Robinson now, gives it to him. Robinson's pass ahead, missed Dahlin. Curry with Gretzky and Hunter. The Edmonton line out there, they went in. But Smith's pass finds Svoboda to Naslund. He got away from Fogelin. Svoboda is in there after it. He is tied up by Curry. In back of the net, Hunter stopped. Dahlin digs it out for Canadiens. At the line, Robinson. Svoboda didn't expect the pass. He thought maybe Robinson was about to shoot it. And the play is called.
I'm wondering if Petr Svoboda's brother is in the audience tonight. Michael, he has defected from Czechoslovakia and arrived here in Montreal earlier in the week. If he's here, he'll be looking at his first National Hockey League game with his kid brother. He is a hockey player in Czechoslovakia, but not of a caliber to be involved in the National Hockey League. There's Petr. He had a two interesting here, John, a while back. It was a 2-on-1 break. Svoboda on the right side with Dahlin, the highest scoring rookie in the league. Svoboda, who doesn't have a goal this year yet, elected to shoot the puck.
Well, way there you see a puck go high on Curry. I don't know why Curry got upset on the play, but I guess Svoboda's brother played Division II hockey in Czechoslovakia. That's got to put a little pressure on. Do you think he's going to try and get a tryout someplace?
Well, he's got to be drafted first off.
Yeah, right.
Mario Tremblay last night in New York. Tremblay scored career goal number 250. Fairly significant milestone, John, for a pretty honest hockey player over the years.
You see the right shoulder pad there. It bulges a wee bit. It's his right shoulder that he had the surgery on. He missed 16 games with it. There you can see it's much larger than the left shoulder pad. And he says it's still stiff somewhat, but he has had no problems with it. That's his first major operation he's ever had because of injuries in hockey.
Richer with Tremblay and Walter for Canadiens. And at the line is Ludwig and Curvers. Coffey got his 21st and 22nd in the second period. Curry got his 32nd and 33rd. Along with Lumley, Robinson scored for Montreal, and Gainey got one here in the third.
Dick, it's amazing looking at both teams' records. They're exactly identical to 1 year ago. Now, when Perron took over as coach of Montreal, he said that his goal this year was to improve the team from last year, and they got off to that shaky start. Everybody began to wonder, but their record has been pretty well since that first 10-game mark.
catch-up has been taking place since the Christmas break, really. Played very well.
On the draw, Charlie Huddy, bumped by Ryan Walter. Coffey goes over after it, Richer chasing him. Coffey ripped it off the boards, it comes down, and Messier has it. Messier turning, looking for some room, sees Gretzky. Nice little tip pass for Curry. Curry back in for Gretzky, that does not work. Coming out, that's Richer. Left it at center, nearly worked for him, but Curry was there to deflect it off to one side. Out of the net comes Sotard, dropping it. Now Walter stopped by Huddy, but the puck rolls to center anyway. Curry to Hunter to Gretzky. Gretzky finds a hole and goes in, turns. Curry was ready to shoot one. Now working in is Coffey. His shot deflected over the glass and into the crowd. We have an update for you now from Toronto. Here's Dave.
Early in the game, Marion Stastny scored for the Leafs. Now his brothers, Peter and Anton, combined to put the Quebec Nordiques ahead for the first time in the game. It's Anton's 16th from Peter and Robert Picard. The Nordiques would appear to have a chance to take the Adams Division lead tonight.
Johnny Edwards playing back up transfer. Johnny Edwards playing 30-stitch gash over the right eye in practice the other day, and 3 layers of stitches to close it. I was surprised to see him play tonight.
Larry Robinson for Canadiens. It's 5-3, Edmonton leading. And Anderson grabbed the puck, gave it to Gretzky, back to Anderson, the pass behind him. Anderson faked the shot, and he knocked it back to his own zone. He's back for it. Greg is there, takes his pass, goes to Jackson, goes to Curry. A long pass to Anderson on the skate, and Robinson easily broke it up. Carbonneau coming out. Carbonneau fed it ahead for Gainey, but Jackson stopped that pass. Now Curry to Anderson. Anderson coming in. Gretzky trailing the play. Anderson faked the pass back, and Svoboda took it away from him. Comes in front of his own net. Gets away from Anderson to Carbonneau. Carbonneau shoots it in. Here comes Bob Gainey. He's tied up by Curry, who skated right with him. To the far side, Robinson will pinch in. Robinson rolled the puck back. The Oilers nearly set up a 2-on-1. Curry with Anderson now. He fed it in front. Gretzky couldn't reach it. Carbonneau after it. Carbonneau starts away. They're nearing the 9-minute mark of the third period. Carbonneau shoots one in. Both teams make changes now as the goaltender comes out to clear it. Lumley to the line, and he is stopped by Naslund.
Well, Montreal are dumping the puck in a lot. If there's a close-up of Andy Moog when he goes to control it, take a look at his goal stick. He has something called the Curtis curve. It's a bend in the goal stick.
Darlene and Smith. Here's Bobby Smith trying to get it back to Darlene. A 2-on-1, and one too many passes, baby. Vogelin out to center. Vogelin up for Edmonton. Vogelin takes a shot just in off the boards, and Curvers has it. Against Hunter. McTavish steals it. Kept it in. McTavish is stopped. Curver still looking for it. Back to Lumley's shot. That's blocked in front of the Canadiens. Now to scramble for it. Sotard had to tip it away with a stick. Smith to Darlene. Lowe gave him a bump, but the puck comes out over the line to center ice. They're nearing the halfway mark of the third period. It's still 5-3, Edmonton. Gainey has scored here in the third period at the 8-second mark. Naslund moved up and was knocked down as he hit the blue line. He ran into Vogelin. Tremblay took a check from Hunter, but moved the puck in behind the Edmonton net. Canadiens change all around. Slapped on the boards and out to center. Svoboda waits for Smith to come out. Now Bobby Smith heads to the bench. And the Oilers in control again. Napier will chase this one. Napier is in back of the goal. Takes a look out front. Circles the net all the way back to the line. Gives it to Anderson. Anderson trying to shoot one, and Strublin got a stick in front of it. And the puck is into the crowd again. 5-3, Edmonton leading. John Davidson and Dick Irvin at the Montreal Forum, where the Oilers have a 2-goal lead on the Canadiens, and the Canadiens are starting up now. In goes Deblois. Deblois shot, gloved by Andy Moog, and the goaltender hangs on to it. And you can see that stick now that Moog is holding. John, you were mentioning that, what did you call it, the curve?
It's called the Curtis curve. Right where he holds onto it with his stick glove, it's bent. and he has better control of it. This is a snapshot up top, quick snapshot by Deblois. Andy Moog sharp on. Look how far out he is again, but that curve, the shaft of the stick itself, where it joins the fat part of the stick, it curved and it's bent. Look at that. Look at the quick save by Moog. Quick hands. But when he's out handling the puck, Bob, moving it around, passing it, he's able to do it much better because he can grip his stick better.
Huddy goes around the net against Tremblay. Mario Tremblay forechecking for Montreal, but look out for Coffey. If he can get room to move, what a great skating defenseman he is. There's Coffey moving to center. Coffey decides to shoot it in. Sotart covering. Robinson watching Skrudland, and Svoboda doesn't see it. Here's Curry, but Svoboda again. Got his stick in the way of the pass, intended for Gretzky. Coming out is Larry Robinson, played it ahead. Tremblay to Deblois, that does not work. Tremblay now waits for Deblois to come out of the zone. Puck went high up the Edmonton bench, and the play is stopped again.
In this game tonight, we have 4 of the top 5 point scorers in the National Hockey League. Only Mario Lemieux missing. He has a goal tonight for Pittsburgh. They're tied 3-3 with Buffalo. After Gretzky, there's Naslund, who is second, and Coffey and Curry, who rank 4th and 5th. That's going into the game. I haven't kept track since then.
An interesting assessment. Glenn Sather tried to trade Gilles Meloche, the goaltender who ended up in Pittsburgh. He tried to trade him to Montreal over the summer. The player he wanted just skating off the ice, number 39, Skrudland. No way that Montreal was going to give him up. And Skrudland's been the Doug Risebrough style of player, has he not, Dick?
Rookie. He's played more than any of the rookies this year. He's only missed 1 game.
Nyland upended going in. Chris Nyland falling. So the Canadiens had to come back. There's Nyland. Couldn't pick up the pass. Jackson threw it into the zone. Jackson missed Nyland. Nyland racing in. Moog coming out. And the goaltender lost it over there on the boards. Canadiens try to pick it up quickly, but now Moog is back in. And the Oilers moving again. Gretzky near center. Fed it back to Anderson. He's in with Curry. Curry got in the slot and then fell to the ice. Carbonneau turns for Montreal. Racing back. Carbonneau going up over the line with Gainey. He fed it into Carbonneau. Jackson watching him. Canadiens go after it. Nyland got it loose, but Curry blocked the pass out. Too far for Gretzky with that pass. Lawler turns, shoots it back in for Montreal. 8 minutes left in the third period. And it's 5-3 Edmonton. With the score, Edmonton 5 and Montreal 3. We'll return in a moment. Naslund shot. That was just off his skate and bounces to the line. Hunter comes right back in with it for Edmonton. Hunter gets in there, couldn't shoot it, and Naslund knocked it in behind the net. Hunter chasing it again. Messier digging it out. Messier centers it. Robinson ahead to Naslund. Just missed him. 7:25 left of the third period. 5-3 Oilers. Robinson. Puck took a crazy bounce in front of the Canadian defenseman. Naslund is back. Whipped the puck out to center ice. And Huddy in control. Ahead to McClelland. He is stopped. Darlene open on the far wing. But Smith couldn't get it over to him. Svoboda hooked one in across the blue line. McClelland starting the Oilers back. Napier ahead. Suominen has to chase it. Sotard out of the net to clear it. Robinson moving down to center with Ryan Walter. Walter played it across the blue line. And it's stopped by Huddy again. Tremblay stole it. Tremblay, a pass knocked down. Coming back is McSorley for Edmonton. McSorley coming in, took a shot off the leg. Richer knocked it on the boards to center ice. 6:30 left, third period. Edmonton 5, Montreal 3. Canadiens the only goal of the third period. It came after 8 seconds, and here's Coffey. His shot hit Ludwig and bounced away from the net. Ryan Walter couldn't move it out. Richer got a chance to move it, and a second, and then Walter. A pass down to Tremblay. Coming up with Walter near center. He'll have to shoot it from there, and he fanned on it. And the Oilers grab it and come back in with 6 minutes to play on the third. It's still Edmonton by 2 goals. Mario Tremblay shooting one. The Canadiens try to make changes.
This is one of the few games I've ever seen the Oilers play where they're making sure they're not giving up 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s. Dick, there just hasn't been those odd man situations.
Well, watching the Canadiens recently and the room they've had to score all the goals, they're not getting it tonight.
This is Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
One of the Oilers is, with them having the injuries they've had, some players have had a chance to develop in the National Hockey League. People like Sumanen, people like McSorley, who may have been in the minors if they were totally healthy.
Canadiens have scored a goal in each period. And the Oilers scored 5 in the second. And that's the story now with 5.5 minutes left in the third. Svoboda got it back to Robinson. Robinson's pass, he tried to hit Gainey near center ice. Randy Gregg was watching Gainey. There's Gregg. Pass off the boards, then Robinson stops. Robinson got it ahead. Going to be called offside at the line. Tonight's game is coming to you from the Forum in Montreal.
Their third goal just 8 seconds into this third period. Since then, they haven't been able to do very much. And they've had only 3 shots since then.
Shots in the game to this point, 24-21 Canadiens. Naslund in trying to get another. Dahlin tried to move in around the defenseman. Naslund centered it. A quick shot by Lawler just misses. Oilers will try to dump it out, and they do. Lawler knocks it down near center ice. Left it there. Gretzky couldn't find it. Bobby Smith flipped it into the Edmonton zone, and Lowe was back. Lowe looks to Hunter off the boards with it. The Canadiens, Dahlin stopped the pass. And it's moved down the ice anyway, and Lawler is back. Gretzky watching him. On the boards to Smith. Gretzky comes up with the puck and backhands it into the Canadian zone. Moving up on the play was Fogelin. Bumping with Matt Naslund. Curry now. A high one bouncing in. And back is Lawler for Montreal. His pass stopped. Curry shoots. And Trochart was down. I don't know if he saw it or not. But he stopped it and held it.
Quebec's Stastny brothers are at work again to give the Nordiques a 2-goal lead. Once again, it's Peter passing to Anton. The Nordiques lead the Toronto Maple Leafs 3-1.
McTavish for Edmonton, number 14. Napier on the right side. Anderson to the left. 4:12 left. Napier now shooting it to the far side. You'll find the Oilers now forechecking a little more. They'll try to keep the Canadiens in close check the rest of the way. They have 4 minutes left in the third period. Coming in after this is Richer. Richer one-hands it out in front of the net. Well, the Oilers are all back there, and they cleared it. Napier racing in with McTavish to his left. Napier tried to hit him with a pass, and Robinson was covering. Svoboda back to the net. Gets away from Anderson. Feeds it out, and Deblois misses a chance to move down. Anderson back in. Robinson took it away from him. Big Robinson comes to center ice. Robinson ahead. Deblois to Richer. Shooting! He went for the short side and just missed it. And the Oilers dump it down the ice again. It'll be icing with 3 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. Live on CBC. This is Hockey Night in Canada. JD, time running out for Montreal. 2 goals down, 3:15, 3:18 left.
Well, they're certainly trying to get it going, but they're not gaining that blue line from the Oilers. The Oilers have rotated 6 defensemen all game, and they've all played pretty well back there, aside from the one giveaway by Jackson. But he's rebounded, Bob. Played well here as this third period is dissipated.
There's Gainey, who has the Canadian goal here in the third. There's Nyland centering it. It comes right to Curry, and he's away with Gretzky on his left. Curry stops up the line. Curry gets set, took a shot. He missed the net by 3 feet. Gainey from the corner. Starting out for Canadiens, it's tipped by Nyland. Carbonneau tried to feed it ahead to him. Nyland circles back. Nyland to Gainey across center. He doesn't touch it, so the play continues. And here we go. Jackson and Nyland. Nyland trying to get Jackson into it, but Jackson wants no part of it.
Crowd booing Jackson for his non-aggression.
Well, I'll tell you what happened. It started way back in the Edmonton corner about 20 seconds ago. Jackson ran into Nyland. And in that situation, when Nyland decided to go at Jackson, Jackson had his back to Nyland, and I don't blame Jackson in that situation for not wanting to get involved.
No, I tell you, Nyland's going to draw the only penalty, and that's going to hurt the Canadiens. But I think when all is said and done, John, Nyland has taken a very bad penalty, and you're right, Jackson played it exactly the way he should have played it.
Well, look, there you can see he's got his back to Nyland. Why does he want to drop his gloves and be an unfair start when it starts? But Nyland not very bright again, and simply took a bad penalty. There's 2:46 remaining in the third. His team was down by 2 goals. Now that puts him in a hole, I'll tell you.
You know, that Mark Messier is quite a hockey player. And that last sequence when the puck was passed out to Carbonneau, Messier was covering him. He had not left Carbonneau from the time they dropped the puck. He hung with him. The Canadiens got a chance. They put it out in front. Messier had done exactly what he had to do. He's played quite a hockey game for a fella who was in a cast until yesterday, the last 5 weeks.
Well, Edmonton felt that they didn't have a lot of size, or what size they wanted to have going on this road trip, with Krushelnyski being hurt along with Messier. Now they have Messier back, then that's going to help them. Bob, we have to mention about our lunch we had today with Danny Gallivan. Wasn't that something? He's supposed to be retired. He knows more about the league than all of us do right now.
He's just marvelous, and he's in great health.
Oh, boy.
It's just terrific to see Danny today and talk about old times and talking about hockey today. You're right. He's on top of it and staying with it.
Trying to get the face-off, I believe, inside.
They're calling a stick measure.
Oh, boy, I see.
Wait a minute here now. Is
Paul
that
Coffey's
broken, or?
No, that's a measure.
Oh, that's a broken stick.
It's a broken stick, but they're going to measure the blade.
Well, Coffey's almost already inside the penalty box. I wonder what's going on here.
Let's put it this way. They're going to try.
I bet you they went to measure the stick, and Coffey broke it before they could go over and measure it. That's what happened. Now that's got to be an automatic penalty. In other words, they wanted Coffey's stick. Coffey took the stick and broke it before they had a chance to go over and measure it. Now that's going to be an automatic penalty. I believe that's what happened.
All right, now I am baffled. Do they play full strength, or do they play 5-a-side? Penalties are called...
These are not coincident.
No,
They'll
right,
play
okay.
5-a-side
Okay.
now.
Yeah. Or full side, 6-a-side.
Yeah.
Because no time had elapsed on the clock.
Now, hold it now. You fellas agree or disagree over there?
Well, we've got Nyland in. His penalty has not started. And you're right, Dick, these are not coincident minors, but... we're all confused. We'll see in a moment when Andy Van Hellemond gets it ironed out.
They've just taken the Nyland 2 minutes off the board.
Which means they'll be at full strength.
Paul Coffey, 2 minutes pour avoir joué avec un bâton illégal et 10 minutes mauvaise conduite. À 17 minutes 14 secondes.
Coffey's got the stick measurer now inside the penalty box, and he's trying to straighten out and check. Maybe he's got a new stick and he wants to check it before he gets into more trouble, because there still is 2:46 remaining. He's not going to go and play with a stick that's over.
He won't get into any more trouble because he's drawn a misconduct penalty.
Oh, he did he? Mark Napier got caught in the Philadelphia game in Edmonton not too long ago, late in the game, with a stick that had too much curve to it. And that ended up being a 1-goal game that almost cost Edmonton a couple of points. 4-3 in favor of Edmonton, but it certainly could have been different if Philadelphia had capitalized on the play.
The Oilers had just 4 skaters out there, but they should get another out. Now they do. Gretzky is out. So the teams are 5 skaters aside. And the Canadiens trying to get back into it, but time running out, and Gretzky moving up again. To Curry, has 2 goals tonight. Curry nearly got in position for a shot. Naslund goes in front of the net. Naslund ahead to Smith. He just dumped it on the boards to center. And Fogelin again with 2:20 to play now. Shooting a long one in. It misses the Canadian goal. Svoboda back, so that will be icing for a face-off in the Edmonton zone.
The Nordiques score again. They now lead by a score of 4-1. Alain Cote sends the puck near the net and then takes another whack at it, and it dribbles over the line past Don Edwards. Less than 6 minutes to play. Quebec leading by 3.
Here's Robinson right from the draw. And Moog got a piece of that with Smith standing in front of him. Canadians will have to chase it back. Gretzky hustling in. Robinson touches it. And again, it's icing against the Oilers.
It's the Islanders against Montreal. The North Stars play Toronto, and the Rangers meet Edmonton Saturday the 18th on Hockey Night in Canada.
And before they play at home 1 week tonight against the Rangers, the Oilers have 2 more games on this road trip. They're in Boston Monday and Hartford on Wednesday. The Canadiens finally get a bit of a breather after this one. Their next game Wednesday night here in Montreal against the Winnipeg Jets.
2 minutes remaining, third period. Lowe's high shot on the glass will go down the ice, and that's the plan of the Oilers now. They'll just dump it out as often as they can. The Canadiens have 1:50 left. Daslin to center, and that one might go too high. It does, over the glass.
They have done a pretty good job on Mats Naslund tonight, J.D.
I tell you, when Edmonton decides to play defense, so that usually it's when it comes playoff time, they can play it pretty well. And again, what they've done is not allow Montreal to come in with any flow whatsoever. The only times they've gotten into that Edmonton zone, they've had to dump it in, Dick. And that time, you can see how they tried to dump it, ended up in the stands, the puck did.
No room at the blue line at all.
A minute and a half left in the third period. Lee Fogelin with Curry. They get it across the Canadian line. All the Edmonton goals came in the second period. 2 by Coffey, 2 by Curry, and Lumley. And the Canadiens have a goal a period. 1:20 to play. Dahlin dropped it to Robinson. He feeds it into Smith. Bobby Smith dropped it back to Svoboda. His shot was blocked by Fogelin, who fell. Another shot. That hit Bobby Smith. And with a minute left, Gretzky gets it up across center. Will he play it? He would have been offside. He knew it. Killed a few seconds. Fogelin dumped it in. 55 seconds to play. Third period. Here's a chance. Gretzky. They'll let him loose, and he'll score. 6-3, Oilers.
Kjell Dahlin, the rookie from Sweden, makes the mistake here. Doug Soetard, I think, had relaxed on the play, John. Dahlin coughs it up to number 99, and the inevitable happened.
Well, there's a lot of different people to cough the puck up to. Soetard actually left it in pretty good shape for Dahlin, but when you're going to give it to somebody, try not to be number 99.
But Soetard wasn't in any hurry to get back into the net. Yeah. He lazy-daisied it to get back in the goal crease.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
And they start to leave the forearm, John.
Well,
on that one.
Gretzky jumped on it, I'll tell you that. Miscommunication between Soetard and Dahlin for sure.
Whatever chance the Canadiens had, it was slim anyway. It's gone now as Gretzky gets his 32nd of the season unassisted at 19:10. And here's Anderson in there for Edmonton. 6-3 the score. 25 seconds to play. Skrudland over there bumping with McTavish. They go in on the boards, and they freeze it this time, I believe. Now it comes loose. Napier slides it in front. 15 seconds to play, and the Canadiens can't get out. Curvers is back. Ludwig in the corner. 8 seconds left. It's fed ahead to Rooney. Rooney has stopped. Anderson had it knocked away by Ludwig. And there's Skrudland, and that's the last play of the game. As the siren goes, ended, and the Oilers defeat the Canadiens 6-3.
First time Montreal has lost 2 games in a row since the last week in October. Last night in New York, tonight here, and they congratulate Andy Moog, and well they might, John.
And they only gave up 5 shots on that Edmonton goal in that third period. That's the first time in 8 games where it's been under 40 shots against the Edmonton Oilers. They came to play defense tonight. They stressed it, and they did a pretty good job.
Well, the Canadiens fall out of the tie for first place in the Adams division, as the Nordiques are on their way to a win in Toronto, as we've seen. And here we have the Molson 3-star selection.
Ce soir, tel que choisi par Monsieur Red Fisher du journal La Gazette. Ladies and gentlemen, our tonight's Molson's 3 stars, as selected by Mr. Red Fisher from La Gazette newspaper. Étoile, the star, Yari Furi. La deuxième étoile, the second star, Wayne Gretzky.